At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized, so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
A Sunday full of crime. We're going to go back to July 27th, 1950 for episodes of The Lineup, starring Bill Johnstone, a former Shadow, by the way, and an episode of Somebody Knows, the summer series for suspense, Dane Clark and Crime and Peter Chambers, an episode of Crime Classics, and Lum and Abner. That's all straight ahead on this Sunday. This is the 27th day of July, 208th day of the year. We have 157 days left in 2025. Union General George B. McClellan, put in charge of the Army of the Potomac during the Civil War on this date in 1861. Bugs Bunny made his debut on this date in 1940 in the cartoon A Wild Hare.
Guess who? Eddie Wilmore? Nope. Whoa, Cow Wombard? Rosemary Wayne? Nope. Olivia de Havilland? Nope, but you're getting warmer. Say, you wouldn't be that screwy wabbit, would you? Could be.
Now, in re-releases of the cartoon, the reference to Carol Lombard was removed, and Barbara Stanwyck edited in out of deference to Lombard, who died 2 years after this cartoon was produced. Billboard magazine published its first singles record chart on this date for the week of July 20th, back in 1940. Number one song on that first chart belonged to Tommy Dorsey, the Pied Piper, singing with a young boy singer. Sinatra, you might have heard of him. In 1953, an armistice signed ending the Korean War.
They both walked up to their respective tables, each accompanied by two aides. They sat down, didn't even glance at each other, and immediately set to work signing the documents.
CBS News correspondent with a live report from Panmunjom. And yes, they were still using shortwave radio at that time for live broadcasts from overseas. It was on this date in 1960, then Vice President Richard Nixon nominated to challenge John Fitzgerald Kennedy for the presidency of the United States.
May I present in nomination a fighter for freedom, a pilgrim for peace, the Vice President of the United States, the Honorable Richard M. Nixon.
Oregon Governor Mark Hatfield making the nomination. The House Judiciary Committee voted on this date in 1974 to impeach Nixon for obstructing justice in the Watergate case.
There is a contradiction when the executive branch is both investigatory and the subject of investigation. And there is a contradiction when efforts to determine whether the office of the president is being faithfully executed are met with the claim that the faithful execution of the office precludes disclosures of the relevant facts. It is these events and these contradictions that forced the House, by a vote of 410-4, to set in motion this impeachment inquiry.
New Jersey Democrat Congressman Peter Rodino. 12 days later, President Nixon would resign, and Gerald R. Ford would become the first unelected president of the United States. He had not been elected to the vice presidency or been elected to the presidency. It was on this date in 1995 the Korean War Veterans Memorial dedicated in Washington, D.C. by President Clinton.
They set a standard of courage that may be equaled but will never be surpassed in the annals of American combat.
The dedication took place on the 42nd anniversary of the war's conclusion. Terror struck the Atlanta Olympics on this date in 1996 when a homemade pipe bomb went off in a park where thousands watched a rock concert. One person killed, more than 100 injured. This man was there when the explosion went off.
I was sitting on the ball looking out at the music in the crowd, and all of a sudden, skabooey, and it just blew me off the wall. I turned back, there were a couple people laying there. I got the hell out of there.
Anti-government extremist Eric Rudolph later pled guilty to the bombing, exonerating security guard Richard Jewell, who had been wrongly suspected. Comedian Bob Hope died in his home on this date in 2003 at the age of 100. After an investigation during STS-114, NASA grounded the space shuttle again on this date in 2005, pending an investigation of the continuing problem with the shedding of foam insulation from the external fuel tank. In 2015, on this date, the board of the Boy Scouts of America voted to allow openly gay leaders into the organization. Eagle Scout Eric Hay ran the Dallas chapter of Scouts for Equality.
Scouts will go on doing what it does best, and no one's going to notice because, they're just going to have a lot more great leaders involved.
And it was 9 years ago today at a news conference, presidential candidate Donald Trump expressed the hope that the Russians could recover 30,000 emails that were deleted from Hillary Clinton's personal server. Nobody ever did. Passing away on this date in history, novelist, poet, playwright Gertrude Stein, actor James Mason, the man who founded that machine that you see running around on the ice in the intermissions, the Zamboni. Frank Zamboni. It was a real guy. He passed away on this date in 1988. Also singer-songwriter Bobby Day, sportscaster, and the voice of pro wrestling for my generation, Gordon Soley. Bertha Faye in the WWE, Rhonda Singh, actor-singer Tony Martin. He was an actor on Babylon 5, and later a talk show host, Jerry Doyle, passing away on this date. And 3 years ago today, we lost Tony Dow, Wally, in Leave It to Beaver. 3 birthdays on this date of people who are no longer with us. They include baseball legend Leo DeRocher, actor Keenan Wynn, and Coach star Jerry Van Dyke, all born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Turning 100 years old today, the man who offended a lot of Americans and made them laugh through the offenses. Norman Lear, All in the Family, The Jeffersons, all those great shows that we still laughed at. Norman Lear, 100 today. Singer, actress Maureen McGovern, There's Got to Be a Morning After. 73 years old today is Maureen McGovern. The hilarious Bill Engvall is enjoying retirement at 68 years old.
And my daughter will always be very special to me because she was my first child and she was my only little girl, but it's really killing me the way she's growing up because she's in a room listening to her stereo, she's online with her friends, and little boys are starting to call the house now. Oh my God, we had a kid call the house at 2 a.m. Oh yes, I lost it. Because first off, I'm sound asleep in La La Land with Farrah Fawcett in a mountain somewhere, and I hear a phone ring. I'm like, who's got a phone in the mountains? So when I realized it's mine, I'm already a little miffed. So I said, hello. And this little voice goes, is Emily there? And I go, dude, if you have a brain in your skull, you will hang this phone up right now. And my wife said, Bill, you've got to be nice. And I go, no, ma'am, nice stops at midnight. And she said, what are you going to do when these little boys come over the house? And I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the young man in tight next to me so only he and I can hear the conversation. And I'm going to whisper in his ear and I'm going to say, boy, look at me. You see that little girl right there? That's my only little girl, man. She's my life. So if you have any thoughts about hugging or kissing, you remember these words. I got no problem going back to prison. Oh, God bless my wife. She puts up with this every day of the year.
And even more so now that he's retired, they've been doing lots of traveling and overseas visits. Bill Engvall, here's your sign. 68 years old today. Pro wrestler, now retired because of heart issues, and he's running the creative for the WWE. Paul Michael Levesque, Triple H, 56 years old today. From Saturday Night Live, and the lead actress in the hilarious Idiocracy, Maya Rudolph, 53 today. Jonathan Rhys Meyers is 48 today. He was Dolph Ziggler in the WWE, and was also with the Spirit Squad in the WWE. He now wrestles for TNA, and with his brother Ryan Nemeth. Nick Nemeth, 45 years old today, and I really enjoy hearing him on Pro Wrestling Nation, the Sirius XM channel. And from Orange is the New Black, Taylor Schilling, 41 today.
Oh my God, Larry, by the time I get out, there'll have been like 300 generations of iPhone.
Taylor Schilling, 41 years old today. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 27th day of July as their birthday. If this is your birthday,
happy birthday to you.
And we'll spend much of the next hour looking at Thursday, July 27th, 1950, with episodes of The Lineup and Somebody Knows. And we'll also have a look at the news of that day. That'll be coming up shortly. We'll go back 75 years when Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues in a moment.
The National Safety Council reports that highway accidents are being reduced and lives being saved. But accidents are still a national problem. The major causes of traffic casualties are speed, drink, and carelessness. Driving too fast for road conditions is one of the most common causes of traffic accidents. Next to speed, driving on the wrong side of the road was reported as the most frequent driver violation of common sense in the safety laws. And 1/4 of the fatal accidents involve a driver or pedestrian who's been drinking. Take the responsibility on yourself and urge safety precautions in your community. Every motorist and every pedestrian should obey traffic signs and signals. Never drive after drinking. Never drive on the wrong side of the road. Watch for warnings on grade crossings. Be alert and careful every moment you're behind the wheel. Remember, the life you save may be your own.
Now we're going to go back 75 years to a Thursday. 27th day of July, 1950, 75 years ago today. We'll start off over on CBS. Bill Johnstone, starring in The Lineup.
Ladies and gentlemen, we take you now behind the scenes of a police headquarters in a great American city, where under the cold, glaring lights will pass before us the innocent, the vagrant, the thief, the murderer. We take you now to The Lineup.
Think you found him, Lieutenant Guthrie, so soon?
Yeah, we think so. And we'll be sure when you identify him. Sit here, Mr. Weber.
Thank you. I have never been at anything like this before. Never. What will I have to do? What am I supposed to... will I have to face him?
It'll all be explained to you in just a moment, Mr. Weber. The lineup's a new experience for most people, and
It certainly is for me. I'm assaulted and robbed and threatened with murder, and
May I have your
the very
attention,
next
please?
morning you found it.
You people out there on the other side of the wire in the audience room, may I have your attention?
That's Sergeant Graham. He's in charge of the
Thank
lineup.
you. My name is Greb, Sergeant Matt Greb. I'll explain the lineup to you. Each of the suspects you will see will be numbered. I will call off a number, their name and charge. If you have any questions or identifications, please remember the number assigned to the prisoner as I call his name. At the end of each line, when I ask for questions or identifications, call out the number. If you are sure or not too sure of the suspect, have him held. The officers who took your name will assist you. They're seated among you. Please be prompt with your questions or identifications.
He makes me nervous, Lieutenant. I may not
When
be
the
able to-
prisoners leave here, they are sent to the bathroom and dressed back into their jail clothes. It makes it quite difficult to bring them back after they leave here. The questions I ask these suspects are merely to get a natural tone of voice, so do not pay too much attention to their answers, as they often lie. Bring on the line. All right, boys, all right, this way. You, the first boy. Huh? Yes, you. Don't stop. Keep moving. Walk to the end of the stage and take your place. The rest follow. Now turn and face front. Hands to your sides. Look straight ahead. You, the boy on the end, no whispering. Keep your faces front. The people out there are here to look at you. Number 1, Ralph May, assault. Where do you live, Ralph?
With him? The guy down the line there, Milburn?
Where do you live, Ralph?
The flop house on Main. Milburn and me, we got beds there.
When'd you come to town, Ralph?
2 weeks ago, 3, I don't remember. Milburn will, though.
Why did you come here?
We was looking for work.
What kind of work?
Picking fruit, mending fences, something to keep us outside.
The arresting officer found a weapon on you, Ralph. What was it?
That's no weapon. That's just a bailing hook from my last job.
Number 2, Stan Fremont, robbery. Where are you from, Stan?
From here.
Where do you live?
In a house with my wife with a kid.
You been arrested before?
No.
Where'd you get the gun the officer found on you?
I borrowed it from a friend.
Number 3, Jeff Carver, grand theft. Where did the arresting officer pick you up, Jeff?
I don't know.
You don't know because you're a stranger here?
I'm no stranger. And we've been meeting here regular for the past 6 years, Sergeant. I don't know because I was drunk.
He found a gun on you, a police 45.
Did he?
Just a minute.
Where'd you get the gun, Jeff?
Who knows? I was drunk. Maybe it was a gift from Admira.
The car you stole, where'd you dump it?
I stole a car?
Number 4, Milburn Scott, assault. Where are you from, Milburn?
Lots of places.
I mean originally, where are you from?
Kansas, Topeka, Kansas.
Been arrested before, Milburn?
Yes, sir.
Where?
Lots of places.
Who was arrested with you last night?
The guy down the line there, Ralph.
Are there any questions or identifications from the audience?
Number 3, that's the one.
You sure, Mr. Weber?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm real sure.
Any questions or identifications from you people out there?
Sergeant Graham.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Number 3, hold for interrogation. Back again, Carper. You were sitting in that chair last week, too, weren't you?
The week before. Don't get too eager, Lieutenant.
Carper, you know what this folder is I've got in my hand?
Sure, you wave it at me every time. The record of me versus police.
The record of you versus the police. May 1937, conviction of petty theft, 1 year. January 1939, conviction of robbery, 3 years. August 1943, suspicion of assault.
No conviction, Lieutenant.
September 1943, suspicion of...
now, Lieutenant, that's one I don't like to hear about. Embarrassing.
A man your age it ought to be.
What was I yanked out of the lineup for this time?
Grand theft. Intent to do great bodily harm. Mr. Weber said murder.
Now, wait a minute.
Maybe we can throw in a kidnapping charge, too.
Wait a minute. Oh, you're kidding, Lieutenant.
Between 10 and 12 last night, it's charged you did all that.
How much does those charges add up to? I mean, the total.
With your record, you could get 20 years easy.
20 years, huh? Hey, what about slugging a guy and taking $4 from his wallet?
What are you talking about?
Jack rolling, roughing up and stealing. Between 10 and 12 last night, that's what I was doing. Only one customer, only made $4.
You said in the lineup you were drunk last night.
That was to protect myself.
You're trying to tell me you committed a robbery last night between 10 and 12, is that it?
Yeah. I remember the time was 10:45 because I confessed I heist the guy's watch, too. $1 watch, I give it back.
What guy?
Put down on the record I'm cooperating this time. When I emptied the Fink's wallet, I saw the name Lionel Austin. Lives someplace in Clover Avenue. You check, huh?
Well, we will. Matt?
Yeah?
Matt, get in here.
Yeah, what is it, Ben?
Man named Austin, Lionel Austin. He
He lives on Clover Avenue.
Yeah, on Clover Avenue. Find him. I want to talk to him.
Yeah, find him. Lieutenant wants to talk to him. This Austin can get me off for only 2 years.
Ben.
Hi, Matt. We got Austin?
Well, almost.
Yeah, that's novel. How almost?
He'll be home at 4 o'clock. We can talk to him then.
All right.
Wait a minute, Ben. Wait a minute.
Huh?
A 201 just came in. Homicide.
Where?
Paradise Motel. You know, the one on top of Lookout Point. You gonna take it?
Uh-huh. We'll both take it.
Hi, Ben. Matt.
Hi, Doc.
Hi. Well, you got here fast, Dr. Lynn.
Why shouldn't I? I win my cigars that way. From you, from... I even beat the camera boys this time. That makes several cigars.
Did you examine the body?
Stabbed in the throat. Good, clean job.
Mm-hmm. When?
Oh, a long time ago. Long time.
How long ago, Doc?
14, 16 hours ago. Maybe between 10, 12 last night. That'd place it between 10 and 12 last night.
Who was he?
I don't know. But that's his wife standing over there looking out the window with her back to us. I asked her. She told me she was his wife. Kind of pretty, isn't she? Pretty.
Mrs. Please, we want... We're detectives. This is Sergeant Matt Grebb. I'm Ben Guthrie. Try not to be frightened now.
I'm not frightened. I was just looking at the lake, the view, and he touched my shoulder so easy like it startled me.
The man lying on the bed. He was...
My husband, Charles Jordan. I'm Letty Jordan. I met Charles when he was driving through my hometown. That was 8 years ago. I was Letty Arnold then. I worked in a drive-in.
Mrs. Jordan, tell us how this happened.
I don't know.
You weren't here?
No, I've been away. I went home for a couple of days to Sedalia to see my sister, my old girlfriend.
When did you get back here, Mrs. Jordan? This morning? Last night?
It was only just a little while ago. I'm the one who found him like that. I'm the one who called you policeman.
Well, tell us how you found him, Mrs. Jordan.
Well, I got off the bus from Sedalia this morning and walked up the road to this cabin. There was a please do not disturb sign on the door. I thought Charles was asleep. He liked to sleep late. So I just tiptoed in. In a little while, I knew he wasn't asleep. I was looking out the window like this, and... Oh.
What is it, Mrs. Jordan?
Oh, nothing. I just recognized my friend in that car. My friend, Mr. Weber.
Weber? Oh, that's Robert Weber.
Oh, you know Mr. Weber?
Yeah, I do. Matt, will you talk to Mrs. Jordan? I just remembered something.
Yeah, sure, Ben, sure. Go ahead.
Mr. Weber.
Yeah? It's Lieutenant Guthrie.
I didn't know you lived here, Mr. Weber.
The Paradise Motel? Oh, I've lived here for a good long while. The view, the lake, it's very pleasant here. Oh, do you mind holding these packages for me, Lieutenant? I'll get the key to my cabin.
Sure.
Thank you. There we go. Here, I'll take them now. It's a typical bachelor's place, Lieutenant. I'm afraid I haven't got much to offer you, but there ought to be a jigger of bourbon.
Thanks, Mr. Weber. Not now. You, live here alone, you say?
Oh, yes.
That makeup kit.
What?
On the radio there, the makeup kit. It's a woman's. And the initials are L.J. Who's L.J., Mr. Weber?
I won't lie. If it's important for you to know, you'd find out anyway. Look how fast you found it. LJ stands for Letty Jordan.
How long have you known Mrs. Jordan?
Letty? Oh, about 6 months, ever since she came here to Paradise Motel.
Mm-hmm. You made friends with her and her husband?
Well, with Letty, I hardly noticed the husband. You know how it is. Living in Paradise alone, you notice a girl like Letty. You try to make friends right off.
What time were you held up last night, Mr. Weber?
What? Oh, I told you, sometime between 10 and 12. Why?
Why do you say between 10 and 12? Couldn't you be more specific?
No, I couldn't. I left here around 10. The radio said it was 10. I went for a drive. And then that man I identified waved a gun at me, stole my things, my watch and everything, my car. I had to walk back, and it was 1 in the morning then, so it had to be between 10 and 12 sometime.
Between 10 and 12. Eh, Mr. Weber?
Yes, that's what I said, between 10... Why do you keep asking me that? Who's the criminal? I'm the one...
A man who was murdered last night, Mr. Weber. Mrs. Jordan's husband, Charles, last night. Between 10 and 12, the coroner says.
Letty's husband? While I was being robbed, huh? He was killed then, huh, Lieutenant? Then for Letty and me...
Don't move away from Paradise, Mr. Weber. I want to keep in touch with you.
Oh, Ben.
Come in, Matt. Come in. Sit down.
You know what I think?
I know. What I've been thinking, too. Only let's not jump at things, Matt. You figure Robert Weber's the murderer, don't you?
Uh-huh, sure.
Maybe.
Look, Ben. Robert Weber drives his car out of town, abandons it. Reports to the police that between 10 and 12 last night, he was forced to drive his car out of town at the point of a gun. Had to hitchhike back.
Go on.
Then he comes to the lineup. Waits until a suspect with a known criminal record is questioned. Picks Carper, a suspect who can't account for his movements last night. So Mr. Weber points a finger at Carper and says him. That's the man.
Tricky.
Yeah, tricky. Also the way it happened.
I told you, let's not jump at it.
Okay. No jumping. But admit it, Ben. It makes sense.
Mr. Weber.
Especially Mr. Weber. The way he made certain time was established. How many times did he mention the hours between 10 and 12?
Oh, lots of times.
And his motive. The old line. The classic. He's in love with another man's wife.
Well, motive's there, all right.
Well, start from there, Ben, with the motive. Man wants other man's wife. Kills man. Now, get an alibi. Weber does. Says he's being kidnapped, robbed, threatened at the time of the murder. Even tells us who does it. Jack Carper. Oh, brother.
Well, let's not worry about it, Matt. We can prove it.
Let's do it, huh?
Well, we've got to wait an hour for Mr. Lionel Austin to get home.
Yeah, if Austin confirms he was rolled by Carper at 10:30 last night, we've got a murderer.
Name Robert Weber. Imagine the guy. Picking out a man in the lineup for an alibi. Saying he was being worked over by Carper at the time of the murder.
Weber's a killer. A clever killer.
Now, take it easy, Matt. We'll find out in an hour.
Yes?
I'm Ben Guthrie. I called about...
Oh, you're the man from the police. Well, please come in. I'm Mrs. Austin. I talked with you on the phone. I'm Lionel's mother. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Now, what is it you want to see Lionel about?
Is he home, Mrs. Austin?
Well, I'm his mother. Lionel would tell me anyhow.
Well, is he home?
Yes, he is. Lionel! Well, I still don't... Lionel!
Yeah. Yes, what is it, Mother?
This is Mr. Guthrie, Lionel. My son.
Oh, Lionel?
Hello, Mr. Guthrie.
Yeah, Mr. Guthrie's from the police.
But I didn't do anything, Mother.
Well, of course you didn't, son. Mr. Guthrie, what is it you want with Lionel?
Where were you last night, Lionel? Between 10 and 12.
I don't see what...
Lionel.
At the movies, where I told Mother I was going.
Of course.
I saw Louisa. Ruth Hussey was in it. I like her.
Yeah, such a sweet, sweet girl.
I saw it twice.
Were you Jack Roll last night, Lionel?
Was he what? Mr. Guthrie.
That means thrown into an alley and robbed, Mother.
Lionel, how would you know such a thing?
Oh, they're crime magazines, Mrs. Austin. Right, Lionel?
That's right.
Lionel, it depends upon what you tell me. The police are pretty sure they have a murderer. They can be positive, depending on what you tell me. Were you Jack Roll last night? Were you?
Me? Of course not. Of course I wasn't.
Well, of course he wasn't, Mr. Guthrie.
A former president once said that the armed services offer every qualified young man a chance to perfect himself for the service of his country in some military capacity. The members of the armed forces can be proud that they are serving their country while performing their assigned military duties. As U.S. citizens in uniform, our military personnel have definite responsibilities to their God, to their country, and to themselves.
Lieutenant Guthrie!
Where are you?
Up here, Lieutenant. The dirt road to the left of the motel. That is, if you're looking for me.
I am, Weber. I am.
You were looking for me then, weren't you, Lieutenant? Otherwise, you wouldn't have climbed up to the hill from the motel.
No, otherwise I wouldn't.
But you'll find that it's worth it. Just for the view of the sunset alone. We're 300 feet above the lake here, Lieutenant.
However, tell me again where you were between 10 and 12 last night.
Perhaps you'd better meet my friend. Mr. Duff, this is Lieutenant Guthrie, the one I've been telling you about.
Hello, Lieutenant.
Mr. Duff. Weber, I think you'd rather talk to me alone.
I don't think he will, Lieutenant.
No?
No. He'll talk to you only with me here. He's paying me for that. I'm his lawyer.
Oh. Well, you were wise, Mr. Weber. You will need a lawyer.
But not for what you think, Lieutenant. For something else.
Exactly, for something else. To protect him from you, Lieutenant.
Oh?
Exactly. It seems you're a great nuisance to my client, unnecessarily. You have disturbed my client's peace of mind, unnecessarily. You have made my client mentally ill with your allegations, your threats, unnecessarily. My client has had to consult a physician because you have too eagerly assumed that my client is, what, Lieutenant?
A murderer.
Ah, you admit it. You're prepared to arrest him for that charge? To suffer the consequences of a false arrest? Goodbye, Lieutenant. Say goodbye to the lieutenant, Mr. Weber.
Don't bother. Maybe Letty Jordan will talk to me without a lawyer, Weber.
Maybe, Lieutenant. But you won't find her here. Not at the Paradise Motel. Not anymore.
Where?
Is it all right to tell him, Mr. Duff? Try the Plaza Apartments, Lieutenant, on West Gladstone. This view. This breathtaking view. It's so peaceful. No, Mr. Duff?
Yes? Oh. Please come in, Mr. Guthrie.
Thank you. Mr. Weber told me where to find you.
I wasn't trying to run away. You could have gotten the information from the motel office. I left a forwarding address. You don't have to talk to me like...
I wasn't making a point of it, Mrs. Jordan. I just wanted you to know how I found you.
Moved here because... Maybe you could have lived in that motel after murder's been done there. Not me, not after what
I realize that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
Stay in that motel.
You couldn't have grieved too much, Mrs. Jordan.
I didn't say anything about grieving, did I? A dead man's been in a bed ahead of me. I'm a woman.
I know. Squeamish. Now let's talk about the same thing. Let's talk about Robert Weber.
I don't have to.
How does it feel to be the reason why a man has killed another man?
How would I know?
You'd know. Weber killed your husband on account of you, Mrs. Jordan.
Robert thinks I'm attractive, if that's what you want to know.
I didn't ask you that.
What's wrong if he thinks I'm attractive? Just because I'm married?
No.
No, then what?
How did you feel about Weber?
Just because I'm married, does that mean I can't feel some way about somebody? That doesn't mean I did something about it.
I saw your makeup get in his cabin at the motel.
So?
When did you leave it there?
When I got off the bus from Sedalia, I stopped in his cabin for a drink. What's wrong with that?
Before you said hello to your husband?
My husband didn't drink. I needed a drink.
You and Weber are in love with one another, Mrs. Jordan. Weber told me that. He said you'd marry now that your husband...
He said that? Robert said that?
I'm holding you for complicity of murder, Mrs. Jordan.
You're crazy.
You both plotted to kill your husband.
No.
You really did go to Sedalia, Mrs. Jordan. I checked that, but you went after you plotted to kill your husband.
No.
There have been cases of death verdicts for complicity, Mrs. Jordan.
He said we should get my husband out of the way, but he was kidding.
Weber killed him, didn't he? Didn't he?
But I didn't plot anything with him, Mr. Guthrie.
Ben, sit down. Ben, please, you've been walking up and down and round like an animal for a half an hour now. You don't say a word. It makes me nervous. I'm your friend, Ben. It makes me nervous the way you do that. I'm your friend, Ben, please.
Weber killed Charles Jordan, didn't he, Matt?
Uh-huh.
You know he killed him.
Well, don't tear my head off. I said uh-huh.
Weber's girl, Letty, confessed he planned to kill her husband.
Uh-huh.
So he murdered her husband so he could have Letty to himself.
Uh-huh.
We could pick him up, charge him, try him, execute him because he's a murderer.
We could do that, but we can't. He's got an airtight alibi. Because he wasn't at the scene of the crime. He was being held up at the edge of the town. How do you kill a man when you're not there to kill him? How do you get... You know, if I were you, Ben, I'd bring that Carver in here again. Talk to him. Make him...
Lieutenant Guthrie, an officer's here with Carper as you requested.
Huh?
Tell him to send Carper in, alone.
Now, look, fellas, I confessed, I cooperated. I like you guys very much. You've become very dear to me. But why do you break up my canaster? I already won 12 addresses from my cell intimates.
Carper, that man you said you held up.
I know. He said I got more often than $4. Why do chickens always say they got more feathers than they got?
He said more than that. He said you didn't jackroll him. Nothing happened to him but a movie.
Why, the dirty, low-down, conniving crook? What does he mean I didn't rob him? Let him face me face to face, and I'll make him confess to it that he... Oh, how evil can they get?
Where was it you jackrolled him, Carper?
Where? Where else for a chicken like that? Baker Street, where the lights are few and dim and like wet lipstick.
Yeah. That's what I figured. Let's call on a boy and his mother, Matt.
I don't understand, Mr. Guthrie. No, I don't understand it at all. Why you should come around here at nearly 10 o'clock at night. All you want to do is persecute my son.
The lieutenant asked you a question, Mrs. Austin. Where is Lionel?
He's upstairs with his ship models.
Please call him.
I will not. He needs his relaxation before he retires.
Ben.
Yeah, Matt. Go get him.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
What is it, Mother? What's wrong?
Lionel,
You
nothing...
better come down, Lionel. It's the police.
You don't have to talk to him, Lionel.
Mother, don't get upset. I'll talk to these men.
Why didn't you report to the police that you were robbed last night?
I wasn't robbed. I told you that earlier in the day.
I know you did, Lionel.
But we think you're lying.
My son never told a lie in his life. Not in front of me, anyway.
Lionel, the man who robbed you, he was heavy set, wasn't he? Rough features, poorly dressed.
I don't know what you men are trying to do. Mother,
Are you afraid to tell the truth in front of your mother?
If he was robbed, why shouldn't he have told the truth? He certainly would have told me about it. Wouldn't you, son?
Of course.
Lionel, why don't we go someplace? You, Sergeant Greb, and myself, and we can talk this thing out.
Well, my son has no secrets from me.
All right. Tell us what your son was doing down on Baker Street last night.
Well, he went to the movies. The theater's not on Baker Street.
He went to the movies, all right. He said he saw the picture twice. But you didn't, did you, Lionel? You saw the picture once. It let out at 10 o'clock. That left you 2 hours to roam around Baker Street.
Lionel, what is this Baker Street? What's there?
Mother, Mother...
Don't stammer. Answer me. Go ahead, answer me.
Burlesque houses. Bars. A man doesn't have to know a girl to talk to her on Baker Street. Does he, Lionel?
Were you there, Lionel? On this Baker Street? Were you there? Answer me. Answer me. Lionel, answer me, answer me, answer me.
Mrs. Austin.
It's all right, I'll answer her. Mother, listen to me. What the man is saying is true. I was on Baker Street last night. I did meet a girl, and we had some drinks, and after that I was robbed. And I'll tell you something else, Mother. Last week I was there, too. I met another girl there.
Let's go, man.
That'll make you suffer, won't it, Mother? Now you've really got something to suffer about, haven't you, Mother?
Well, where to, Ben? Paradise Motel?
Sure. That's where the murderer is, isn't it? And take it easy, man. Let's enjoy the view.
The Lineup was produced and directed by Elliott Lewis, written by Morton Fine and David Friedkin, and stars William Johnstone as Lieutenant Ben Guthrie and Wally Mayer as Sergeant Matt Greb. Music was composed and conducted by Eddie Dunstetter. Featured in tonight's cast were Irene Tedrow, Alvina Temple, William Conrad, Leo Cleary, Jack Edwards, Lou Merrill, and Stanley Farrar.
And there you have it from 75 years ago. July 27th, 1950, Bill Johnstone, Wally Mayer in the lineup here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. In a moment, we'll take a look at the news from that Thursday, 75 years ago today.
If your daily routine never varies, chances are you're heading for a great big case of monotony. Everybody needs a break once in a while, and sometimes a vacation just once or twice a year isn't enough. But a break once a week would more than fill the bill. What could you do with that leisure time? Here's the answer to that. You can vary your routine with a fascinating and vital pursuit, spotting planes for America's Ground Observer Corps. It's exciting, it's interesting, and just 2 hours a week of your spare time is all that's needed to keep up the 24-hour schedule of the GOC. Men and women from teenage up can help the Air Corps cover the blind spots in our radar system by volunteering for the Ground Observer Corps, a civilian component of the Air Defense Command. You'll be trained and supervised by officers and airmen of the Air Defense Command to spot planes in your area. Find out from your local civilian defense office how you can be a civilian ground observer.
Okay, we just heard the lineup that aired at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS 75 years ago today. Let's take a look at some of the news headlines from the newspapers of that Thursday 75 years ago today. Britain announced she's sending a combat group of her regular army, including armor, to Korea and putting her Far Eastern Fleet on a war footing. Two British Commonwealth countries, Australia and New Zealand, also announced they would send land forces to join UN units under General Douglas MacArthur. Also, the U.S. sending 48 more warships into service. President Truman hopes to avoid rationing and price ceiling. Bernard Baruch urges for a ceiling on everything. Senate unanimously passed a bill yesterday to remove the 2 million man limit on the size of the armed forces and let President Truman boost their strength by 600 to 700,000 men. In other news of the day, President Truman said if it becomes necessary, he will without hesitation ask for complete economic mobilization. He said rationing and price ceilings may be avoided if taxes are increased by $5 billion, and he's given limited power to control production and credit. Prayers and peace urged on all peoples and rulers of the world in an encyclical letter from Pope Pius XII issued yesterday. The pontiff warning that such murderous and inhumane weapons have been introduced and developed that everything beautiful, good, and holy that human genius has produced, all or nearly all, could be annihilated. With a new warning that freedom-loving nations will stand together to thwart those bent on aggression, President Truman yesterday signed the $1.2 billion foreign arms assistance bill. The bill authorizes a second year of American assistance, specifically for 14 nations, West European, Asian, and the Middle East. At the same time, Secretary of State Dean Acheson revealed the use of ECA billions is being considered as a means of speeding the military buildup of countries resisting communist pressure. Mississippi Negro Willie McGee, under sentence to be electrocuted on charges of raping a white woman, granted a stay of execution by Justice Burton of the U.S. Supreme Court. Burton said justice can best be served by granting a stay until attorneys for McGee can ask for a writ of replevin. This could be considered next October when the High Court is back in session. The Senate yesterday confirmed the nomination of John E. Purifoy of South Carolina to be U.S. Ambassador to Greece. There was no opposition. A conscience-stricken former streetcar conductor who worked in Yonkers between 1902 and 1904 gave the 3rd Avenue Transit System $500. He said he was guilty of nickeling while working for the car line, and now that he was prosperous, he wanted to ease his conscience. And in Minneapolis, a masked man aimed a pistol at grocer Cecil Flegel. Told Flegel, "You told police I got $50. I didn't get anywhere near that much when I robbed you the other night. I came back for the rest." Those some of the day's news stories from the newspapers of Thursday, July 27th, 1950. On your radio next, Somebody Knows.
Spring is nearly here, and many of our listeners will be getting out their gardening tools, their overalls or shorts to again try their hands at raising their own vegetables. For most of us, gardening is an enjoyable hobby, and it certainly is a great thrill to see the results of your work come out of the ground right before your eyes. In other lands, many people will also be watching their spring planting grow. CARE, the Cooperative for American Remittances to Europe, proposes to help meet that need with their new vegetable seed package. It contains 28 varieties of vegetables. In order for families in Europe to start planting, you should order the CARE seed package right away. Total cost, with delivery guaranteed, is $4. Send your orders to Nonprofit CARE, 50 Broad Street, New York, and help a family help themselves.
Now we'll wrap up our look at 75 years ago today, July 27, 1950, for an episode of Somebody Knows and the unsolved murder of Frank J. Christenson.
Suspense, which is heard on Thursday nights at this hour, is taking its customary summer holiday. Suspense returns to the air 5 weeks from now on Thursday, August 31st. Ladies and gentlemen, a $10,000 reward will be offered on the program immediately following this announcement.
You out there, you who think you've committed the perfect crime, the perfect murder, and that there are no clues, no witnesses, that your identity is unknown. Listen.
Somebody knows.
Yes, you, wherever you may be, no matter where you're hiding. Somewhere, sometime, someone listening to this program is going to bring you to justice. Yes.
Somebody knows.
The Columbia Broadcasting System presents Somebody Knows, a program conceived in the public interest, dedicated to aiding the forces of law and order in the solution of this nation's unsolved crimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to recreate for you tonight all the known facts in an actual unsolved murder. Somewhere, someone among you has had contact with the killer, or killers. Someone whose identity need never be known has seen evidence or possesses information that can lead to the solution of this crime.
In the public interest, the Columbia Broadcasting System offers a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the killer in this unsolved murder.
In tonight's case, in recognition of the efforts being made to apprehend her husband's killer, and hopeful of the results that may be obtained, Mrs. Madeline Christenson, widow of Frank J. Christenson, whose story we bring you tonight, offers an additional $5,000, doubling the original reward.
This makes a total of $10,000 in rewards for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the killer or killers of Frank J. Christenson.
We ask you then to please listen carefully, for you may be the one to win this reward.
Somebody knows.
It may be you. Now we open the files on one of this nation's unsolved murders. It's file number 49-104 from the records of the state's attorney's office in Cook County, Illinois. The unsolved murder of Frank J. Christenson.
The recorder's ready?
He is, Mr. Coroner.
Have these proceedings read into the record?
Yes, sir. Office of the Coroner, Cook County, Illinois. Transcript of testimony taken at the inquest before the Coroner of Cook County, A.L. Brody, Deputy Coroner Louis J. Nadherney, and the jury duly impaneled and sworn 2307 South Laramie Avenue, Cicero, Illinois, 11 a.m., December 13, A.D., 1949. We're ready, Mr. Coroner.
Very well. The inquest will please come to order. I'd like to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any information you can give the police, I wish you'd come forward. If you don't wish to give it publicly, you can speak in private. I'd like to see the streets made safe so people should not be mowed down. All right, I'll take the family history. Mrs. Christenson, will you please step up?
Yes, Mr. Coroner.
Swear the witness in.
All right, Mrs. Christenson. Raise your right hand.
Yes, sir.
At 11 o'clock in the morning, December 12th, 1949, in the somber atmosphere of Raleigh's funeral home at 2307 South Laramie Avenue in the town of Cicero, state of Illinois, a man's life and death are being probed.
Your residence.
The life and death of a man named Frank J. Christenson.
Yes.
You are the widow of
Under the skillful questioning of A.L. Brody, coroner of Cook County, many pertinent facts are being brought to light. Let's examine them in reference to the case which we're bringing you tonight. It's spring of the year 1946. Two men enter a candy and school supply store in the immediate neighborhood of a high school in the town of Cicero, western suburb of Chicago. They stand to one side, looking over the crowded store.
Well, Leo, what do you say? I wouldn't have believed it, Chris. Slot machines in school stores. Fine education for the kids of Cicero, isn't it? Learning how to operate those one-armed bandits. Tossing their lunch money into the syndicate's payoff pot. Come on, Leo, before I get sick. You know, that's not the only school store I've seen those machines in, Leo. They're spotted in dozens of them.
What's it mean, Chris? You said the syndicate?
Yes, it looks to me like the syndicate's moving back to Cicero. Something's got to be done about it.
That's almost impossible. Where'll they get witnesses willing to stick out their necks far enough to testify? He's going to be crazy enough to put himself on a spot with the hoods from the syndicate.
Leo, I believe that some of the Capone gang have returned. They're operating openly without much hindrance from the law. And if they're allowed to continue, this means returning to the days of gangsters, hoodlum killings, and terrorism. But with God's help, I'm going to put a stop to it.
On August 26, 1946, as assessor and village board member, Frank Christenson forces the Cicero Town Board to call a special meeting in order to have a showdown on the gambling issue. An hour before the meeting is to convene, Frank Christenson's in his office, looking over the directive that he and Leo Kaspersky have prepared for the town board. He's almost finished when the door to his office opens.
Christenson?
Yes, that's right. What can I do for you?
He's here. Come on in.
Yeah, sure.
You going to the town board meeting, Christenson?
I am. Why do you ask?
Planning on introducing that resolution you and Kaspersky cooked up about gambling?
What's your interest in that?
Maybe we don't want you should get yourself in trouble.
Who sent you here?
What difference does it make? Maybe you better just lay off.
Well, if that's all you've got to
Better
say...
listen, Christenson. Wouldn't do you or Kaspersky any good if it got out that you're both taking a payoff from the syndicate.
That's a lie.
Who cares? It could get out anyway. Wouldn't be so good for you, maybe, if it did.
How about it, Christenson? Are we making sense?
Some 30 minutes later, at the meeting of the town board in Cicero, Frank Christenson gives his answer to the two men who had paid him a visit in his office.
That it was necessary to file a directive in order to have this board bring into the open the widespread gambling and operation of slot machines now taking place in Cicero. Every day, every one of you must have seen these slot machines in open operation. The board has received letters and complaints from mothers of young children, from the clergy, from employers. It's gone so far that the Chicago newspapers have printed lists with the names and addresses of handbooks and dice games operating in Cicero.
Now, just a minute, Christenson, just a minute. The gambling detail investigated those addresses given by the Chicago papers. It didn't find a thing.
Well, then, mister, the gambling detail ought to take a lesson from Cicero's high school kids. They can walk into their school stores and play the slot machines 24 hours a day. If the gambling detail can't find what these kids can find, then there's been a complete breakdown of law enforcement in this town.
Now, see here,
And that's why Supervisor Kaspersky and I demand that the town board take immediate action to suppress gambling and slot machines, and not to stop until the gambling syndicate's been driven out of Cicero.
With the bombshell of his demand still echoing through the meeting hall, Frank Christenson leaves the town board and returns to his office. Then, as he opens the door and enters...
Hello, Christenson.
I thought I told you two to get out of my office and stay out.
That was a nice speech you made. Very nice. We figured we'd better congratulate you.
On what?
On still being alive. With a guy who sticks his neck out like you do. Who knows? Might be the last time anybody can say that.
If you have a job to be done, try giving it to a physically handicapped worker. Your state rehabilitation agency has done a wonderful job of training disabled workers, many of them veterans, to do a specialized type of work in many different fields. When you hire a physically handicapped worker, you will do him a great service by boosting his morale, and you'll be doing yourself a good turn by acquiring a well-trained, efficient employee. The next time you need someone to do a good job, contact your state employment office and ask for a physically handicapped worker. Now back to Somebody Knows and a true case history of an actual murder.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue with the rest of the factual information concerning the unsolved murder of Frank J. Christenson. File number 49-104 from the records of the state's attorney's office of Cook County, Illinois.
Remember, $10,000 will be paid for information leading to the arrest and conviction of his killer.
What is your name?
Charles Cicero.
You are a police officer of the town of Cicero?
That's right. Town of Cicero.
All right, officer, tell us what you learned.
The coroner's
from your
inquest into the death of Frank J. Christenson continues.
Well, we have not
A picture of the man grows clearer. The facts surrounding his battle for reform, for the eradication of gamblers, hoodlums, and gangsters in the town of Cicero, come more and more to light. For 2 more years, despite attempted frame-ups on bribery charges, despite threats made against his life, Frank Christenson continues his determined battle against crime. Then, in 1948, he refuses to run for a 3rd term as assessor. His stated reason:
I'm retiring from politics. From now on, I'm going to devote my time to my private law practice and the real estate business.
Frank Christenson opens a real estate office, and in partnership with Leo Kaspersky, forms the Boulevard Manor Corporation to develop a vast housing project in Cicero. However, he never for one moment stops openly fighting the gambling syndicate. It is now 6:30 on Friday evening, December 9th, 1949. In the modest 4-room apartment at 1637 51st Avenue in Cicero, Frank Christenson and his wife Madeline are having dinner.
Are you working again tonight, Frank?
That's right, honey.
Don't you think you've been working much too hard lately? Between your law practice and Boulevard Manor, you've been at it day and night. It's too much for one man.
You know, you're making it sound so tough, you almost convinced me to drop some of it.
I only wish I could.
Do you really?
No. No, I think I know pretty well what makes you tick, Frank. And I wouldn't want you any other way.
Yeah, you'd better not. Well, anyway, it'll only be for a couple more days. Then we'll be off for the farm. And you know what those Tennessee vacations do for me.
All right, Frank. I'll be good.
Does that mean I can depend on your leaving the Novena services on time tonight and being home when I get here?
Only if you promise to pick up the papers.
Honey, you just made a deal.
It is approximately 9:15 on the night of December 9th, 1949. Frank Christenson finishes work at the subdivision, and with his friends Leo Kaspersky and Michael Litka, drives to the Alton Hotel for a bite to eat. It's approximately 10 o'clock as they return to the development, and Frank Christenson says good night, gets into his own car, and drives away. At 10:07, 2 cars speed down quiet residential 51st Avenue in Cicero. One of them suddenly pulls over to the curb and stops. A man gets out and starts to run. The other car, a black souped-up Ford, has pulled up in the middle of the street.
Get in this car, you...
At that moment, in the apartment of Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Mack, in-laws of Frank Christenson, at 1640 51st Avenue.
Joe, were those shots?
Well, I'll take a look outside, Claire. Claire, there's a man out there near the entrance, lying on the sidewalk. I'm going to call the police.
The minute this call is completed, Joseph Mack runs back outside. His wife stands at the window, watching, waiting for the police cars to arrive. She glances from time to time at the motionless figure lying near the vestibule. There's something about it that seems vaguely familiar. Then a dawning, growing certainty comes over her, and she runs to the phone.
Hello?
Madeline, this is Claire. Is Frank home yet?
Frank? Why, no. Why do you ask? Claire? Claire, that noise outside a while ago. Those firecrackers.
Madeline! Madeline!
As the arriving police officers examine the body on the sidewalk outside and wait for the ambulance, the front door of the apartment building at 1637 51st Avenue bursts open. Mrs. Frank Christenson runs frantically across the street.
Is it Frank? Is it Frank? Joe, tell me, is it...
I thought I heard firecrackers. Frank. Frank, speak to me. Speak to me, Frank.
Here comes the squad roll. We better get him to the hospital fast.
Frank J. Christenson has been shot 8 times in the head and chest, in the back and arms. He's dead on arrival at Loretto Hospital. Meanwhile, the Cicero police dispatcher has notified the office of State's Attorney John S. Boyle in the criminal courthouse at 26th and California Streets in Chicago. Sergeant Nick Disseldorf, aide to Captain Daniel A. Gilbert, chief investigator, sets in motion the smoothly operating, efficient machinery of the criminal branch of the State's Attorney's office.
Pearson.
Hello, Charlie. Nick.
I'd have known I'd get a call from you on a night like this. What is it and where?
A shooting at 1640 51st Avenue in Cicero.
Got it.
No further details or identification given on the first flash.
Okay, Nick. Rourke and I'll cover.
When Sergeant Charles Pearson and Patrolman John Rourke arrive on the scene, they begin an immediate inquiry into the shooting. Assistant State's Attorney Edward Healy also arrives.
Has an identification been made yet, Pearson?
Yes, sir. The man who was shot was Frank Christenson.
Christenson? We'd better get hold of Boyle himself right away.
State's Attorney John S. Boyle is notified and arrives at the scene with his first assistant, Edward Breen. Captain Dan Gilbert and Sergeant Disseldorf also arrive. Within an hour, the State's Attorney has over a dozen men on the spot. The investigation into the killing of Frank J. Christenson begins. An investigation that will not end until it's closed by a conviction. The following statements are obtained from 3 of Frank Christenson's friends and associates. They're of extreme interest to the State's Attorney's office. The first is given to Assistant State's Attorney Edward Healy by John C. Stoffel.
Stoffel said that last year, during the summer of 1948, 2 swarthy men in a car curbed his auto on the 52nd Avenue overpass. One of them, carrying a pistol, jumped from the car and yelled at him, "Get out of the car, you." Stoffel said he quickly threw his car into reverse, backed off the overpass, and got away. Now, I think it's quite significant that the words shouted at Stoffel are almost identically the same words shouted at Frank Christenson just before he was shot to death.
The second statement was given to Captain Dan Gilbert by Mr. Frank Kay, who is a law associate of Frank Christenson's.
Kay stated that at about 12:45 a.m. on the morning of December 9th, some 20 hours before the murder, he was driving on 35th Street when he noticed a car following him. When Kay arrived at his home at 3525 South 59th Court, the other car was right behind him, a 1942 green-colored Plymouth or Dodge with 2 men in it. Afraid there was going to be a robbery, he went into his house and locked the door.
The third statement was made by Mr. Frank Balloon, former fire marshal of Cicero.
It was on Friday morning, December 9th. I was leaving my home. It's about 75 feet east of Frank Christenson's law office, and I noticed 2 foreign-looking men trying the door of Frank's office. And finding it was locked, they walked a half a block east and got into a green-colored Plymouth sedan. Both the men were carrying briefcases. And they drove away. Well, there was plenty of parking space in front of Frank's office, so why did they park their car a half a block away?
At 5 p.m., Saturday, December 10th, a man telephones Captain Gilbert. He says that he has some information regarding the death of Christenson. Sergeant Pearson leaves immediately to pick him up.
Look, I don't want to get in no trouble. It didn't mean nothing to me until Christenson's murder, and then I figured I'd better let you know, but I don't want to get in no trouble.
Don't worry. We're just as anxious to conceal your name as you are. We'll call you, Smith. What's your story?
Well, about the end of October, Maybe it was the first week in November. I was at Mike Litke's tavern. Leo Kaspersky was there, too, talking business with Mike. It was about 11 in the morning. There was two guys sitting at the end of the bar, not 6 feet from me, and I got a good look at both of them.
The two men Smith is describing are swarthy in appearance, foreign-looking as he puts it. Both wear gray fedoras and dark overcoats. Both are about 5 feet 8 or 9, between the ages of 35 and 40, and weigh 190 to 200 pounds. Then Leo Kaspersky, who knows Smith, walks over to him.
I thought that was you sitting there.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kaspersky.
I'm leaving now. If you're going my way, I can give you a lift.
Hey, I'll take you up on that.
Fine. Come right along.
Smith rises and starts to follow. Then he notices that the two men seated at the end of the bar are staring after Kaspersky intently. And as he passes them, he hears...
We'll have to get rid of them, too, and I'll tell you why. Listen.
Did you say anything to Kaspersky about what you'd heard, Smith?
Like I said, Captain, it didn't mean nothing to me until after the murder. Then it hit me. Who else could they mean by them two they wanted to get rid of unless it was Kaspersky and Christenson?
The intensive investigation into the death of Frank Christenson is pursued relentlessly by the state's attorney's office, the Cicero police under Chief Chris Rooney. But no clear motive for his killer can be ascertained, no suspects uncovered, no clues as to the possible identity of his slayer or slayers. It's the morning of January 31st, 1950. In the matter of the inquest on the body of Frank J. Christenson, the coroner's jury is returning to the box after having retired and deliberated on their verdict.
Have you, gentlemen of the jury, agreed upon your verdict?
We have, sir. We find that the said Frank Christenson came to his death on the 9th day of December, A.D. 1949, from multiple gunshot wounds. Said wounds received from the pistol or revolvers held in the hands of two unknown persons. From the testimony presented, we, the jury, find said act to be murder and therefore recommend the police to apprehend said unknown persons, and when apprehended, they be held to the grand jury until released by due process of law.
Is that your verdict, gentlemen?
Yes.
Sign the verdict, and that'll close the inquest.
Now listen carefully, please. Listen, all of you, wherever you may be. We're going to give you a recapitulation of all the pertinent facts in the unsolved murder of Frank J. Christenson. Better make a note of them.
And remember, by following the instructions we shall give you in a moment, you may be the one to earn rewards totaling $10,000.
Now, here are the actual facts in the case. Frank J. Christenson, 44 years of age, was shot to death across the street from his home at 1637 51st Avenue in Cicero, Illinois.
The time, approximately 10:07 p.m., Friday, December 9th, 1949.
He died of multiple bullet wounds from two different guns, believed to be .38 caliber Colt Specials.
His killers are believed to have been driving a 1940 or 41 black souped-up Ford. Also may have had a green Plymouth or Dodge sedan.
Now, two men are being sought as suspects in the killing. Here's their description, so please listen carefully.
They are between the ages of 35 and 40.
They have swarthy complexions. Witnesses all claim that they have a foreign look.
Height, 5'8" or 9. Weight, 190 to 200 pounds. When last seen, were wearing gray fedora hats and dark overcoats.
Ladies and gentlemen, many theories have been advanced as to the underlying motives in Frank J. Christenson's murder. Here's the opinion expressed by Assistant State's Attorney Edward Healy, who, in cooperation with Sergeant Charles Pearson and Patrolman John Rourke, is still officially working on the case.
I am convinced that the murder was a warning by the underworld to a strong reform group to keep their hands off the suburbs government. Christenson had strong support for the post of first mayor of Cicero. He had a reputation as a vote-getter and would have been a tough candidate to beat in an election. Underworld bosses may have thought that by killing the reform group's number one candidate, they could scare off their other aspirants for the post.
Ladies and gentlemen, if any of you possesses information, And please don't send guesses or hunches, but actual, authentic information. Follow these instructions so that your name and identity need never be made known unless you wish. Now listen very carefully.
Write your information on a plain sheet of paper. Do not sign your name. Instead, sign it with 6 numbers, any arrangement of any 6 numbers. Then tear off a blank corner of that paper with a ragged edge. Write the same 6 numbers on that corner and keep it. Mail the rest of the paper with the information to Somebody Knows, Hollywood, California. You need tell no one what you have done.
Mail your letter to Somebody Knows, Hollywood, California. And if the information you've supplied leads to the arrest and conviction of the killer or killers of Frank J. Christenson, we'll announce your signature number on this program. Then, if you don't want your name to be known, go to your lawyer or your doctor, your priest, minister, or rabbi, and have him present the torn corner of the paper to any CBS station. In this way, you won't have to appear in person.
If the torn corner matches the original paper containing the information, the $10,000 in rewards will be yours.
Remember, you, wherever you are, you whose name need never be known, you may earn a reward of $10,000.
Next week, at the same time, we'll present another true case history of unsolved murder. Homicide file number 81550 of the Dallas, Texas Police Department. The murder of Leonard L. Lambert.
You out there, you who've murdered in cold blood, think you've gotten away with it. Listen, you cannot escape. There is no perfect crime. Remember, you are not unknown.
Somebody knows.
Tonight's case was written by Sidney Marshall from information in the files of the State's Attorney's Office of Cook County, Illinois. Research was by Maurice Zimm. Music was composed and played by Milton Charles. Somebody Knows is a James L. Safier production in association with CBS by arrangement with the Chicago Sun-Times and is based on a copyright owned by W.L. Finstad. It was narrated and directed by Jack Johnstone. In order to be eligible for the $5,000 reward and the additional $5,000 reward that will be paid by Mrs. Madeline Christenson, a total of $10,000, letters containing actual, authentic information leading to the arrest and conviction of the killer or killers of Frank J. Christenson must be addressed to Somebody Knows, Hollywood, California, and postmarked not later than midnight, August 20th, 1950. Arrest of the guilty person or persons must occur within 90 days of that date, and conviction must be within 1 year of tonight's broadcast. If more than one person gives the information leading to conviction, our judges will divide the two $5,000 rewards among them in proportion to the importance the judges attach to the facts supplied. And in this, the decision of our judges will be final. Until next Thursday at the same time, this is Frank Goss saying good night, and remember,
somebody knows.
You'll always experience a top-rating thrill when Casey, crime photographer, embarks on a new adventure each Thursday night on CBS. Casey, crime photographer, is the man who uses his news camera instead of a gun when a criminal's at large. And often enough, his girlfriend Anne and his slow-talking pal Ethelbert fog up his plates more than the criminals do. For the fast action and lively dialogue of crime photographer, stay tuned, for Casey comes along immediately on most of these same CBS stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Now, while we aired episodes of the NBC show Wanted, and we know that Wanted came up with at least one solution, Somebody Knows didn't. None of the 8 episodes came up with a single complete clue. Now, the August 3rd episode of the show about Paula Kohler Eubanks did get its case solved in 1974. A woman came forward claiming her estranged husband was the killer, but he had already passed away. Out of respect to the family, they never publicly named the man. So again, this show never did come up with what it wanted, and it would have been nice if it would have been. From 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Thursday, July 27th, 1950, that's Somebody Knows. It was an interesting Thursday night on CBS with Gary Moore at 7 o'clock. The program Stepping Out with Jen Murray. And then the lineup at 8. Mr. Keen, Tracer of Lost Persons at 8:30. Somebody Knows at 9. Casey, Crime Photographer at 9:30. And then yours truly, Johnny Dollar, at 10. Now, if you look at what the other networks had on, it was not really compelling at all. Over on ABC, you had Counter Spy, Inner Sanctum Mysteries, and The New House Show, and The Original Amateur Hour. While NBC had on at 7 o'clock, One Man's Family, News of the World. 8 o'clock, The Quick and the Dead, a program about the bomb. The Cass Daily Show at 9, and then Dragnet, Duffy's Tavern at 9:30, Dragnet at 10. So, it was kind of a quiet night. But then it was summertime, and summer was always quiet on the radio. We've told you that several times over the time here. I mean, that's something that we've always said. The summer months, you're not going to hear the big stars in regular shows. You're going to hear a lot of stuff that, it was mostly secondary stuff and summer replacement shows. Now, on our Monday show, Parley Bear stars in an episode of Escape, The Second-Class Passenger from 1949, Did Justice Triumph from 1947, The Marriage Bureau Murders, Lights Out and the Rocket Ship from 1945, and Romance from 1952, Paradise Package. On Tuesday, we'll get back to some westerns with Fort Laramie and Gunsmoke from 1956, Tales of the Texas Rangers from 1950, and we'll have an extra laugh with George Burns and Gracie Allen from 1940. Now, on Wednesday, we'll have 4 shows from 1950. That's right, all of the shows on July 30th, 1950, with episodes of Jeff Regan, Investigator, A Fire for Romano, also The Whistler, Mr. President, starring Edward Arnold, and Top Secret. On Thursday, Sam Spade Detective Agency from 1948, Under Arrest from 1948, Nick Carter from 1948, and Broadway is My Beat from 1954. We'll have another episode of Nick Carter, starting us off on Friday. Lon Clark starring in the 1943 episode Murder in the Crypt, Dangerous Assignment starring Brian Dunleavy from 1950, The Vienna Mystery, Confession from 1953, and Mr. District Attorney, The Case of the Curious Undertaker, and another episode of Dear Adolf, Letter from a Foreign-Born American. Saturday, we'll have another episode of The Lineup, The Hit and Run Driver, another episode of Somebody Knows, the show we just told you about, the Paula Kohler Eubanks murder, which was not solved until 1974. The CBS Radio Workshop production of The Subways Are for Sleeping, one of my favorites in the Workshop series, and an Inner Sanctum Mystery program from 1941, The Telltale Heart. That's coming up the days ahead here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, anytime on demand at classicradio.stream, and you can contact us there. You can support the program there. We'll move on now to 1954 for an episode of Crime and Peter Chambers.
We live in an age of specialization. We work in it, too. The legendary jack of all trades is lost out to the master of one. Too often, however, 20th century employers find it difficult to find the highly trained, highly skilled workers they need. Like any problem, however, theirs will yield to thought and consideration. A physically handicapped worker, for example, may not be able to do every job well, but if he's trained to do the one job you want done, you can rest assured he'll do that job well. A physical disability is not and need not be a job disability. Very often a handicap will even add to the worker's efficiency. Where excessive room noise is a factor, a deaf employee may prove more efficient than his colleagues. Weekdays, call the local office of your state employment service and hire the handicapped to fill job openings in your organization. You will find the State Employment Service listed in your telephone directory.
Crime and Peter Chambers starred a somewhat distinguished star, Dane Clark, in an undistinguished series. Part of the reason the program came about was because of the way that the show whose time slot it filled ended. Was Frank Sinatra, Rocky Fortune. NBC, when Sinatra quit at the end of March, because he had won the Academy Award for the motion picture that he won his Academy Award in, and they came up with this show, Crime and Peter Chambers, Dane Clark. This episode 71 years ago, July 27th, 1954.
Crime and Peter Chambers. Created by Henry Kane, transcribed and starring Dane Clark. Private investigator, duly licensed and duly sworn, Peter Chambers.
You're a private eye. That's your business. Anything else? That's for laughs. Laughs? This one figures for more laughs than a bull session at a bachelor dinner. You're being retained to play nursemaid to three of the most beautiful girls in the world. And for that, you're being paid. The lady at your office is Miss Matilda Cragg, battle axe type, and built like a fire hydrant.
Your fee, then, is $500.
Yes, Miss Cragg.
And you understand that I represent Mr. Byron Thorndike?
Yes, Miss Cragg.
And you understand that Mr. Thorndike is the Mr. Thorndike, Byron Thorndike Model Agency?
Yes, Miss Cragg.
And you know why you're being retained?
But of course, Miss Cragg.
Then let's go over it again.
Again, Miss Cragg?
Young man. My dear young man.
Yes, Miss Cragg.
Can't you... Isn't it possible... Won't you please call me Matilda?
With all my heart, Matilda.
There now, that's much better. So much less businesslike, less formal. Well then, let's get on.
All right, here goes. Every big city in most every big country has been running a beauty contest. Then all of them competed in an elimination contest in Los Angeles, and 3 were chosen.
Correct. Miss Madrid, Miss Paris, and Miss Brooklyn.
And these 3 are now here in New York for the finals tomorrow.
And one of the 3 is to be crowned Miss Universe. Prize, $50,000 in cash and a Hollywood contract.
And Byron Thorndike is to be sole judge.
And I am here as chaperone for the young ladies. Mr. Thorndike has taken a lovely house on Sutton Place with a lovely garden and a lovely view. Oh, the East River in the summertime.
Yeah,
The vast bridges.
Yes, Miss Cragg.
Their lights strung across the water.
Yeah,
like...
all right.
Something, Mr. Chambers?
Matilda, let's get back to cases.
Yes, of course. Now, you're to be there tonight at midnight.
Because the Money Transport Company is going to deliver 50,000 cash bucks to Thorndike at 11:45.
And you're to serve as bodyguard. You will come armed, of course.
Oh, of course, Miss Matilda.
And you will stay with Mr. Thorndike until tomorrow afternoon. And then you will remain with whatever young lady wins the prize until the money is safely deposited in a bank. Miss Madrid, a brunette, is Lola Granada.
Uh-huh.
Miss Paris, a redhead, is Louise Dupre.
Uh-huh.
And Miss Brooklyn, a blonde, is Joan Hallam.
Yikes.
Now, Mr. Chambers, I want you to remember.
It's the longest day of your life, as what day wouldn't be when at the end of the rainbow you're scheduled to meet, you hope, Miss Madrid, Miss Paris, and Miss Brooklyn. Anyway, comes midnight and you're all dolled up in your summer finery, if one will forgive the slight bulge for gun and holster. And you're at the house on Sutton Place, and you've got your finger on the buzzer.
Well, Peter Chambers, boy detective. I was told you'd be due here, so I opened the door for you myself.
Say, what are you staked out here for, Louis? Assistant judge in a beauty contest?
I don't think that contest's coming off, Pete. It's been canceled on account of the unexpected advent of a corpse.
Detective Lieutenant Louis Parker. Homicide, New York City Police. Straight cop and good friend. He leads you through a corridor that opens upon a massive living room, and there, in a chair with his back to the entrance, Byron Thorndike. Very dead. A knife crammed between his shoulder blades. Parker's men are doing their jobs. Photo guys, fingerprint guys, the works.
Real nice, huh?
Byron Thorndike with a knife in his back. When'd you get the call, Louis?
About 10 minutes ago.
Who found him?
The chaperone, that Matilda Cragg.
Where's she?
Right now in a hospital.
Hospital?
Oh, wait a minute, Pete. My boys are finished here. Yeah. Yes, you might as well get the potty out, too. All right. Okay, and I'll be downtown shortly. All right, Petey. Where were we?
Matilda Cragg.
Yeah. Well, let me set you up on the details first. The money arrived a little early, about 25 to 12.
That's the motive for the murder, huh?
No, sir, it ain't. That dough was piled up on the table here when we found him. Nice as you please.
Well, if not money, then why do you think...
Search me. Anyway, about, quarter to 12, we get the call downtown reporting this thing.
Call from whom?
Matilda Cragg. We do it with the siren blasting all the way, and we're here in 5 minutes. We find the door locked, so we jimmy our way in, and there he is, just like you saw him. Dead. His back to the entranceway, and Matilda keeled over by the phone.
Slugged?
No, fainted. Turned out to be a heart attack, as a matter of fact.
Oh?
Anyway, we bring her to, and she straightens us out on some of the facts, and then we pile her off to the hospital where she is now, incommunicado.
And what were these facts?
Very meager. Miss Cragg decides to come down to see if Thorndike needs anything before she retires for the night, you see. She comes in here, and she finds him, just like you saw him. She phones in to the cops, she keels over, and that's the deal, period.
The dough was delivered at 25 to 12. By the way, where is the dough?
I sent it downtown to our property clerk, safekeeping.
Okay, dough delivered 25-2. She finds him at 1:45, which means he was killed within that 10-minute period, right?
Right.
Those girls been in the house all that time?
Yeah, each in her respective room.
So one of them's your murderer.
Or Matilda Cragg.
Well, one of the four of them. You, talk to the dames upstairs?
Yes, nothing. Each one clams, each one denies, each one professes no motive.
Where do they live? Addresses and stuff?
That's a thing. One lives in Madrid, one in Paris, and the one from Brooklyn was living in Hollywood when Thorndike discovered her.
What have you told them? How much do they know?
Well, they don't know nothing except that the guy was stabbed to death. And that's all the information they're going to get until I'm ready to question. Meantime, they all stay put like they are and keep denying like they're doing.
Think I can see him?
Think I can stop you?
Upstairs, Parker introduces you to the cast of suspects. And a beautiful cast it is. First is Miss Brooklyn. Blonde as a Viking, blue-eyed and ruby-lipped.
My name is Joan Hallam, and I don't know nothing from nothing. I don't know who killed him or why he was killed. And I would consider it a special favor if you two baboons got out of here and left me alone.
Charming. Next you go a-calling on Miss Madrid. Raven hair pulled to a bun in the back and black eyes with more flash than a swindler on the make in Monte Carlo.
I am Lola Granada. I am shocked and all broken inside. I have nothing to say. I wish to be alone. Please.
Charming. And then Miss Paris. Red hair, green eyes, and a figure like the figure 8, but, oh, so much more attractive.
I am Louise Dupré. Oh, it is Peter Chambre, n'est-ce pas? Oh, this is so great a surprise. I am charmed. It is my delight.
Double charming. You met her last year in Paris when she was dancing in the Folies Bergère. You just didn't connect the name. You were there on a case, and this had all the makings of a great romance when, as luck would have it, the case was over and you were yanked back to the States.
Oh, tiens, my handsome Peter.
Oh.
Mon cher, this is so true a delight, so unexpected.
Hey, what the devil is going on here?
We are old friends, my dear,
Lieutenant.
Oui, Commissioner. Yes, you know who this is? This is Peter Chambre, the one true great detective of all the United States.
Louise,
He must have told you that himself.
Oh,
huh?
yes, he did. The one Peter Chambre, the great detective.
All right, will you?
Oh, now look, my one true great detective of all the United States.
Oh, look, Louis, you don't understand. You see, I was in Paris last year.
The one great detective.
Louis, I'm trying to explain to you.
I will talk to him. I will talk to him alone. I do not trust another. I am in a strange country. I will talk to him. But not here. Outside, in the rear, is a garden by the ocean. By the beautiful East River Ocean. There I will talk to him.
Well, what have you got to lose, Lieutenant?
Commissioner, I will talk to him, to the Peter Chambre.
Okay. Okay, go talk to him.
And so, outside in the garden, with a cool breeze coming over the East River Ocean, she puts her arms around you and kisses you. But from the way she kisses you, you know she's worried. Before you can ask her, she says it.
Oh, I am so worried, Peter. I am very much distressed.
You tell me, honey. You tell the great detective of all the United States.
My knife. It is missing.
Uh-oh. What's with the knife?
It is in my family, an heirloom. We have had it many years, but it is gone.
Since when?
I do not know. I showed it to the girls when we came here 2 days ago. Then I put it in my bureau drawer. Then I did not look again until the police came and told us about poor Byron. They told us he was, how you say it, stuck. Stooped?
No, stuck. Stuck.
Stuck. Then quickly I look. My knife, she's not there.
Well, did you tell the police?
I was afraid. I am in a strange country. They will think that
Look,
perhaps
they're going to find out sooner or later.
So, if they find, then I will speak. Perhaps they do not find, then I have no need to speak.
Look, Louise, you didn't kill him, I hope.
Oh, no, not I. Peter, you will protect me. You will protect poor little Louise. You will not be sorry. Louise will appreciate so like
now,
this.
Wait a minute. You're a little premature in the appreciation department. Easy.
True. You are correct.
You have any ideas on Byron Thorndike?
Oh, he was a bad man.
Well, that's an idea. Where'd you get that from?
Not from Miss Brooklyn, Jean Allen.
You mean she didn't like him?
Oh, she loved him.
So, that makes him a bad man?
Oh, it is so. I am the prettiest. I know I am going to win. I tell this to Joan. She agrees, but she does not agree.
No, slowly, honey, slowly. You're committing mayhem on your English.
She agrees, and she does not agree.
Well, how do you work that one out?
She agrees that I am the prettiest, but she does not agree that I will win. She tells me that she loves Byron and that Byron loves her, and it is all, how you say, in the bag, that she will win.
Oh, a fix, huh? Even in a beauty contest.
Fix? What is this fix?
Oh, you skip it, honey.
Huh? Okay, I skip. So that is how I know he is a bad man?
Now, look, this Joan Hallam, she's told the cops that she lives in Hollywood. Do you know anything about that?
Well, once when we are together in Los Angeles, she tells me of a little room she has in Brooklyn. She says never to tell anyone because it is so poor and small. She says she still keeps it because it is so inexpensive, even though she lives in Hollywood, just in case she has to come back east. She was having so much wine that night. I do not think she even remembers that she told me.
Did she give you the address?
Oui. 262 Hoyt Street.
Hoyt Street?
Hoyt Street.
Oh, you mean Hoyt Street?
That's what I said. Hoyt Street.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Ground floor back. Is in Brooklyn, no?
Is in Brooklyn, yes.
So now, Peter, I have told you all because I am so afraid. You must help me, and then when it is all over, believe me, Louise will not forget. Louise will remember.
Regretfully, you leave Louise, but you hope there will be a better moment when all her worries are dissipated. You accompany Parker to the Belmore Hospital, where you sit outside in the white wall corridor while he interviews Matilda Craig. You sit for a long time until finally he comes out.
Well, I think we can eliminate her, Pete.
Matilda, why?
My boys have checked her thoroughly. She's known Thorndike a long time, sort of a secretary in his agency, and he's been very good to her. She's got a bad heart. He's paid for doctors' treatments past 10 years.
Well, at least she could straighten you out on his background.
She's no help there. He kept his personal life to himself.
What about those dames out at his house? She have any ideas as to who might have stuck that thing into her boss?
That's why I come out for you. She heard mention of a threat.
By whom?
Lola Granada.
Miss Madrid?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, how'd it happen?
Come on in and listen. Softly now. Miss Craig.
Yes. Yes, Lieutenant.
Hi, sweetie.
Oh, Mr. Chambers.
Miss Craig, tell us about that argument now, will you please? You feel strong enough?
Oh, yes, I do. It was 2 days ago. Miss Hallam was in Miss Granada's room. The door was open and I was dusting outside, and I could hear. Miss Hallam was speaking. Miss Hallam was saying...
Look, Lola, I don't want to tread on anybody's toes. I'm telling you the truth, so help me. I don't care if you're jealous or you're not jealous. I'm telling you the truth. I'm supposed to win this contest hands down. Byron Thorndike told me he was stuck on me. Told me he was in love with me.
Then he was lying.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Maybe yes, my dear Joan. Neither you or Louise will win. Only I. There is $50,000 to be paid, and he will keep it in the family. He will pay it to his wife.
Wife?
Yes, I am his wife. We are married in Los Angeles.
Why, I don't believe it.
No? Then look at this. A marriage certificate. Do you see, John?
Yeah, I see.
And I don't want you playing around with my man. Is that clear? Or he with you. And I have told him that. I have told him, if it continues, I will kill him. I am not accustomed to this, and I will not have it. And now that I have told you, please to get out of here. Please get out. Quickly!
Okay. Don't let that Latin temper of yours get the best of you. I've got a temper of my own, you know. Byron Thorndike. That dirty, miserable dog.
And that was what I heard. I didn't mention it. Not to anyone. I'm not one to gossip. But now, in these circumstances...
All right, Miss Craig. All right. Now, easy, huh? Put your head back on the pillow. Nurse.
It's the middle of the night now. Parker's gone down to headquarters for a workout with his laboratory men, and you're dying to go to sleep, but you've got one more little chore to do. 26262 Hoyt Street turns out to be a ramshackle brownstone with ash cans on the sidewalk. Ground floor back is a flimsy door that has no resistance to your gentle ministrations. Inside, there's lots of accumulated dust. But there's also signs of a recent entry, like a newspaper with yesterday's date. You give the joint a quick going over, which isn't much of a job. And then out of an old, musty trunk, you come up with something which isn't musty at all. That does it for you, and you get out of there. Next afternoon, you're at the house on Sutton Place. Parker's got the ladies in Lola Granada's room, and he's jabbing left hooks. But you know Parker, he's holding back that haymaker. Possibly because he's got no haymaker to throw. But he's wearing them down, the three of them.
Now you, Miss Paris, Louise Dupre. That knife belongs to you, no question. That's a French knife made in France, one of them antique deals.
But, Commissioner...
It's Lieutenant.
Certainement. But it does not mean I have used the knife to kill.
Only fingerprints on it are yours, lady.
Well, it belongs to her. Whose fingerprints should be on it?
Look, who invited you here?
You did, Lieutenant. We're sort of working hand in glove on this thing. Glove. Now, there's a pretty word. Whoever stuck that steel into him probably did use gloves. These ladies equipped with gloves?
Yeah, all of them.
So a gloved hand would keep the culprit's fingerprints off and keep Miss Dupre's fingerprints on.
Okay. Well, let's get to you, Miss Madrid. Lola Granada with the Latin temper. Brooklyn here's been keeping her trap closed, but you, Miss Granada, were heard to threaten Thorndike in her presence. Any comment, Miss Granada?
I did not kill him.
That you said too many times. Any other comment?
Only once again I wish to report the loss of my marriage certificate. It was stolen.
Marriage. We're working on a murder case.
It might be pertinent, Lieutenant.
Are you still here? Why don't... Pertinent how?
Because it was stolen. By the murderer.
Huh? And I suppose you know who that is, too.
Of course I do. Here, let me point a finger. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And it comes out, you.
Joan Hallam?
Me?
You, Miss Joan Hallam. You stole that marriage certificate.
I did not.
Oh, you deny it, huh?
I certainly do.
All right, I'll show you the missing marriage certificate. See, I'll dig it out of my pocket. Take a look.
What about it?
Guess where I found it?
Where? Where did you find it?
26262 Hoyt Street, ground floor back.
But how? How could you?
Honey, you were put on a spot.
What are you talking
You've
about?
been put on a spot by Thorndike himself. The lieutenant's been holding on to you, sweetie.
He couldn't.
Thorndike scribbled your name.
He couldn't.
He scribbled your name when he saw you come in with a knife in your hand.
He couldn't. His back was turned. He was seated with his back to the... Oh.
And that, my dear Lieutenant, is what is known as cooking your own goose.
Nobody knew that he had his back to the door, Miss Hallam, except Miss Cragg, the police, and the murderer.
It's talking time, Miss Hallam.
Okay, I killed him. That's one rat that deserved it. I had a contract waiting for me in Hollywood, but he talked me into this. Told me it was a sure thing that I'd win this contest. Told me he loved me. Anything to get this thing rolling for him. Look at all the publicity it gave him. All the business, and for free. Because he figured to keep that 50 G's in his own family. That phony rat was going to fix it so his own wife, Lola, would win that contest.
When did you make up your mind to kill him, Miss Hallam?
When I caught him in the final lie.
And what was that?
I talked to him yesterday morning. I told him what Lola had told me, that they were married. Even then, he brazened it. Told me he wasn't married to Lola. When I threw him the bit about the marriage certificate, he told me that was a phony. So I hooked it. I had a lawyer call L.A. and check it. It was the McCoy. Well, that was it. I sneaked Louise's knife from a drawer, and I waited for my chance.
And that was that. Parker cleans up the loose ends, and your case is closed. And that evening, Louise Dupre descends upon you. And with a cool breeze wafting over from the East River Ocean and a couple of highballs clinking ice, you have a declaration from the beautiful Miss Paris.
Ah, the true great detective of all the United States. In appreciation, Louise bestows a kiss like so.
Louise. And in appreciation of your appreciation, the true great detective of all the United States bestows a return kiss. Like so.
Even at home, Barry was never like this.
And there you've had Crime and Peter Chambers. Dane Clark starred as Peter Chambers. Crime and Peter Chambers, transcribed, was created and written by Henry Kane. Others in the cast were Bill Zuckert, heard as Lieutenant Parker, Marion Carr as Miss Cragg, and Anita Anton as Louise Dupree. It was directed by Fred Way. This is Fred Collins, inviting you to tune in next week, same time, same station, for Dane Clark in Crime and Peter Chambers.
This is Roger Tuttle inviting you on a 60-second trip into the future. Not way in the future, but just as far ahead as this September. September 14th, to be exact. And that's the day that Lux Radio Theater returns to the air, and you'll enjoy it right here on NBC. Lux Radio Theater has been radio's most popular dramatic show for many years, and no wonder. It brings you an entertainment combination that can't be equaled. You'll hear the brightest stars in Hollywood in one-hour adaptations of the greatest motion pictures of all time. The first Lux Radio Theater presentation, September 14th, is the powerful and moving story Wuthering Heights, starring Merle Oberon.
Lux presents Hollywood. Well, not right now, but we will again soon. 71 years ago, July 27th, 1954, Crime and Peter Chambers, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream. Now, some classics. Crime classics, that is.
Hello, everyone. This is Robert Merrill. In the American Cancer Society's vast effort to control cancer, there is one aspect that interests me particularly. This is the fellowship program for outstanding young doctors. Here are men who have devoted years to preparing themselves for their profession, college, medical school, interning, and perhaps more time as resident physicians. Many promising careers are open to them at this point, careers which will support their families comfortably. Yet, they accept American Cancer Society fellowships at $50 a week. Now, these dedicated young scientists are working for us. We owe it to ourselves to help them in this tremendous fight against man's cruelest enemy. We can and we must help this fellowship program as well as the other valuable endeavors of the American Cancer Society. Give generously. Mail your contribution today to Cancer, care of your local post office.
We roll on now at Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the Elliott Lewis helmed show Crime Classics. This episode, going back, it was a one-season series, but it was very, very good. 72 years ago, July 27th, 1953, the final day of General Ketchum and how he died.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland. I'm going to tell you another true crime story. Listen. The general just fell out of bed. His name? William Scott Ketchum, Major General, United States Army, retired. So that there'll be no mistake, this is the same William Scott Ketchum who led the famed Ketchum's Raiders against the Seminoles in 1842, who was acting Inspector General of the Department of the Missouri, and the one who did such a bang-up job of recruiting in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania during the Civil War. The general is in agony. In protest against the quick ebb of his life, he's kicking the floor. The general is dead. And tonight, my transcribed report to you on the final day of General Ketchum and how he died.
Crime Classics, a series of true crime stories taken from the records and newspapers of every land from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, and teller of murders. Now, once again, Thomas Hyland.
The year is 1871. The place is Baltimore, Maryland. The month, June. No poet in the world, to my knowledge, has ever written a poem about this month in Baltimore. It is hot, it is humid, and the oysters are not in season. And any almanac will show you that in June 1871, had oysters been in season, with eggs and breadcrumbs they could have been fried on the sidewalks. For most Baltimoreans, it was the season for dipping hands into tepid scrub water to wash the marble stoops. It was the season for sleeping on back porches and Druid Hill Park, the time of sweat and the hand fan, and the usual quota of elderly stout folk dropping dead from the heat. In short, it was a time to get out of there. In a certain house near Charles Street, a lady was preparing to do just that. Her name, Mrs. Wharton. And she was packing to go to Europe.
Coming. General.
Mrs. Wharton.
How nice. How very pleasant. Do come in, do.
May I present Mrs. Chubb?
Delighted. Oh, do come in, you and the General. I've been cooling myself with iced dandelion wine. Do join me.
I do not imbibe. I work for the United States Department of the Treasury.
Mrs. Chubb needs to keep a clear head at all times.
I used to work for the United States Post Office Department, but now I'm with the Treasury.
My, that's interesting. And you came all the way from Washington with the General. Perhaps your next position will be with the Army.
My dear Mrs. Wharton, I must talk to you.
Of course.
Will you pardon us, Mrs. Chubb?
Is this where you talk to her about the money she owes you?
Mrs. Chubb.
$2,600. Isn't that what you told me, General? Why don't you pay the General his money, Mrs. Wharton?
Mrs. Warden,
Yes?
as long as the cat is out of the bag, I thought to bring along the note you signed. I understand you're going to Europe.
Get the money, dearie.
Why, I have a distinct recollection, General, of having reimbursed
She's going to tell you she's paid you the money.
Let's not embarrass each other.
But there's really no hurry, is there? There's no train back to Washington for hours. Wouldn't you like some wine?
I do not imbibe.
Just a small glass?
You just sit down and relax. I'll bring you the wine and we'll chat.
You might stop at the cookie jar, too, dearie, for the $2,600.
The heat in Baltimore wasn't bad enough, but what the only breeze was an ill wind that blew in from Washington. From the point of view of Mrs. Wharton, that is. It should be remarked that Mrs. Wharton was no chicken. She was 50 years old and at an age when petty tribulations could easily bring on an attack of the vapors. Now consider. Here she was packing to go to Europe, and if you remember just a moment ago, she was happily singing. Now descends upon her people who ask her for money. Certainly conducive to vapors, if anything was. But Mrs. Wharton, true to the noble tradition of Baltimore women, of whom I might mention the fabulous Eulalie Bracken, the belle of the Rappahannock, did not permit herself the vapors under duress. Instead, she went directly to her wine cabinet. Right here, and for the next 10 minutes, history only serves up to us a vacuum. We do know, however, that when Mrs. Wharton returned to her guests, carrying a goblet of wine for the General, this remark was made.
What took you so long, Mrs. Wharton?
Did you stop at the cookie jar, dearie?
General?
Your health, ladies.
And yours, General.
Oh, my, yes.
General!
What are you doing on the floor, General?
I can't get up, Mrs. Chubb. Please.
What is it, General?
Call a physician. I'm ill.
And how's my patient now? Feeling better?
Dr. Chu?
Yes?
You must do something for me.
Anything, General.
Convey to Mrs. Wharton my apologies. Tell her I'm so ashamed of myself for falling down on her rug. And tell Mrs. Chubbs to find a room in town. And Dr. Chu.
Anything, General.
Tell Mrs. Chubb to stay there.
Of course. General.
Yes?
You know what's wrong with you?
What?
I don't know. I thought perhaps you did. I thought perhaps you had a previous diagnosis. I thought perhaps this was a recurring ailment.
I haven't ailed a day in my life, except...
Out with it.
Except when I was in the swamps chasing the Seminoles. Then I was sick most of the time.
Ah.
Yes?
In the swamps. Cholera morbus. And your present symptoms. Sweating, purplishness, weakness, and debility. Cholera morbus recurrent type.
Is that very serious?
Rest easy. I have the very thing in my bag. You're going to feel like a new man as soon as you take this.
Vile-looking stuff.
Why is it that all you army men quail at the sight of medicine? Here. Drink this, General.
Oh, I'm not going to drink it.
General, come on, open.
I don't want to.
General. Yeah. Here's some water. Drink it.
What kind of medicine was that?
Creosote and lime water. How do you feel?
It seems...
Yes?
Suddenly the foreignness is gone.
Good, very good.
May I get up now?
Oh, no. You'll be abed until tomorrow at least. I'll have Mrs. Wharton fetch you a prescription which will work wonders. Goodbye, General. Mrs. Wharton.
Coming.
I have a message for Mrs. Chubb. Where is she?
Must I reveal?
Well, I do have a message for her.
She imbibed. She can't stop. She's in the rose garden now. I can't get her out of there. But then...
Tell her to take a room and stay there. General's orders.
And how is the General?
He says his furriness is gone.
Splendid.
I gave him a palliative, a temporary relief.
Is he seriously ill?
He isn't young anymore, you know. There are no small sicknesses when one gets to be his age, and I'm afraid he can't be moved. He'll have to stay here at your house.
But of course, he can stay in my room. I'll use the guest room.
And an errand for you, Mrs. Wharton, to the druggist's. Get some tincture of yellow jasmine and give him a tablespoonful every 2 hours.
Tincture of yellow jasmine every 2 hours.
Goodbye, Mrs. Wharton.
Goodbye, Dr. Chu.
So Mrs. Wharton, dressed prettily, took parasol to hand and strolled down Charles Street. She walked slowly because of the heat and because Charles Street is a fashionable street, and one is apt to meet many of one's friends, and one is apt to stop and pass the time of day.
Why, yes, Mrs. Becker. General Ketchum just fell right over, right there in my parlor.
And she strolled some more. And to Miss Celia Bradshaw, an old friend of hers from picnic days, who she saw waiting on a corner.
You'll never guess, Celia, who's dying in my house. At least I think he's dying. Dr. Chu wouldn't confess it, but I have a premonition. The General's dying. General Ketchum.
And at the druggist's, she took time to down a sherbet. Seltzer water was all the rage in Baltimore in this era, so she had a little of it with a squeeze of lemon. Then she walked over to the druggist and ordered...
Tincture of yellow jasmine, sir. And while you're at it, I'd like some tartar emetic.
I'm in pain. I hurt. Mrs. Wharton, please, hurry. Mrs. Wharton.
Coming. And here we are.
Oh, my stomach.
The doctor said as soon as you drink this, you'll feel no pain.
Please, hurry.
Now here, drink this.
All of it?
Every drop. Come on. Now, General, just a moment ago you were begging for it. Now, every drop, all the way down, the whole glass. General, watch out. You'll fall out of bed. Oh, General, what's the matter? General, you look... Oh, General.
The general was dead. Frontiersman, recruiter, quartermaster, dead on the floor. Fini to a military career. And it was then and only then that Mrs. Wharton had the vapors.
You are listening to Crime Classics and your host, Thomas Hyland. Tomorrow night, get a grip on your favorite armchair and let that sleuthing twosome, Mr. and Mrs. North, face the dangers on their latest murder case. You're invited to solve it if you can, but from where you sit, the dangers will be strictly theoretical. Remember, every Tuesday night on most of these same stations, you have a date with Pam and Jerry North, CBS Radio's family of detectives. And now, once again, Thomas Hyland and the second act of Crime Classics, and his report to you on the final day of General Ketchum and how he died.
A few words about Baltimore, Maryland, of the era which concerns us. Even in the 1870s, it was one of the medical centers of the world. It is known as the home of the crab cake. Sidney Lanier, Edgar Allan Poe, Henri de Rochefort, alias the French Butcher, and, as is well known, has given its name to a bird, the oriole. It is a city of row houses and marble stoops and beautiful women. If from Baltimore, all the more, one of the rapier wits of the time had it of the beauty of the city's damoiselles. It is known that in her earlier days, Mrs. Wharton met neatly the qualifications of the adage, and at 50 she was not to be sneezed at. However, at this precise instant, we may safely assume that the lady presented an appearance somewhat less than comely. For a general had just tumbled out of her bed and died. Fright, horror, dismay, but a few of the things this gentle lady must have experienced. And how nice could a gentle lady look under such circumstances? She was leaning against a bedpost, pressing her temples. From the front door.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Wharton.
Oh, Mr. Van Ness, quickly, come in.
You look so pale.
Look in my bedroom.
What?
Look in my bedroom.
Did you lose something or what?
Please, do as I tell you.
All right. Oh. He looks terrible, Mrs. Wharton. Where?
He's dead.
He can't be.
Please don't be stupid, Mr. Van Ness. He's dead. He was ill, and he died.
But when I saw the general this morning, he looked so robust.
You saw him this morning? Why?
He came to check your accounts with me.
Oh?
As your solicitor, I was only too happy to discuss them with him. Why didn't you tell me?
Tell you what, Mr. Van Ness?
That you were in the general's debt to the tune of $2,600.
I paid him back immediately.
Do you have the note you signed? Did he return it to you when you paid him?
Why do you ask?
He showed me a note this morning. He said he wanted his money. I knew nothing about it, so he said he would see you.
He saw me. He tore up the note.
Tore it up? Why? Did you pay him?
No. He tore it up as a sailing gift to me, to see me happily on my way to Europe.
Do you have any witnesses of the transaction?
No.
That is not good. Mrs. Wharton.
Yes?
There was a lady with the general this morning.
Come to the window, Mr. Van Ness. See? There.
Where?
There, under the Empress Eugenie rose bush.
Why, it's Mrs. Chubb.
She imbibed.
Well, she told me she never did. She said she was employed by the United States.
As my solicitor, you must tell me. What shall be done now?
I must tell you that I will have to report this of the $2,600.
Of course you do. And you must be very distressed, Mr. Van Ness.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Do sit down. I'll fetch you something to drink.
All right.
I'll only be a moment. Oh, here, drink this, Mr. Van Ness. Your favorite.
Thank you.
I am happy to report to you that Mr. Van Ness regained consciousness an hour later. He rose to his feet and looked about him. He was quite alone. Through a window, he could see the setting sun. He could also see Mrs. Wharton's rose garden, and in it, Mrs. Wharton, her arms about the waist of Mrs. Chubb, of the United States Department of the Treasury. And the two ladies were walking about the rose bushes. Whenever Mrs. Chubb would stumble, Mrs. Wharton would dab at her face with a handkerchief and assist her to her feet. Mr. Van Ness let his gaze drift from the bucolic scene and went immediately into the boudoir, where was the corpse of General Ketchum. Mr. Van Ness determined that that promissory note which he had seen earlier that day was not upon the general's person, so he took himself to the police and to them made charges, and the charges, murder.
But I murdered no one. The general took ill at my house, as Dr. Chu.
The general was sick, all right. I diagnosed it as cholera morbus recurrent type. The general having been sickly in the Everglades.
So you see, I didn't murder the general. Why should I?
Because you owed him $2,600.
He tore up the note as a gift.
You were with him alone when he was dead. You could have destroyed the note yourself.
And you call yourself a gentleman.
And you call yourself a lady.
I am a lady. I work for the United
Of course.
She drank of the same wine that did the general. And you too, Mr. Van Ness. You got tipsy, and all that happened to her was a few scratches, thorns, Empress Eugenie Rosebush thorns.
Well, I don't know what came over me.
Oh, there, dear, there.
You're so sweet, Mrs. Wharton.
When you're in Baltimore, my house is your house.
Murderess.
However, Mrs. Wharton was charged with suspicion of murder, and immediately a more detailed statement was taken from Dr. Chu.
Cholera morbus, recurrent type. More? Oh, when I was first called to attend General Ketchum, I found the sick man in a semi-comatose state. The pupils of the eye were of a natural size, but almost wholly insensible to light. When I prepared the dose of medicine, I found the General's teeth so clenched that it was a matter of considerable difficulty and adroit convincing to put it in his mouth. His furriness, gentlemen, the haziness of manner vanished almost immediately. I gave then Mrs. Wharton a prescription calling for tincture of yellow jasmine.
And the druggist was questioned.
Oh, yes, I remember vividly the occasion. Mrs. Wharton entered my store, had a sherbet, some seltzer water over a dash of lemon for heat, tincture of yellow jasmine, and tartar emetic.
A word about tartar emetic. It is a deadly poison.
I use it externally for wrinkles.
As did many ladies of the time. Next came the autopsy. The general's stomach was removed and examined. Two of the greatest internalists of the day, Dr. Williams and Dr. Aiken of the Maryland University, could not agree as to the causes of death by a superficial examination, so it was sent to a chemical laboratory at the Johns Hopkins University. And upon the analysis depended the fate of a lady who just wanted to go to Europe.
Of course, the flagellation wasn't complete, but that's the way it happened. All right, hand it to me. I'll put it through the filter.
Filtrate. Thank you. I'll wager Dr. Imhoff was astounded, wasn't he?
He thought he discovered something. He was prepared to call it the Imhoff effect.
Attach this to the hydrogen sulfide, will you? You know what?
What?
This is the closest I've ever been to a general. His stomach in an Erlenmeyer flask.
I did a prima donna once, poisoned by a jealous mother. Arsenic she used. You should have seen the titration on that one.
Precipitated. I'll get it. Here. You separate.
I say no poison.
I say poison for $1. How do we stand now?
You owe me 3 from the last 2 analyses. Hand me the muriatic acid. Thank you. Ammonium sulfide?
Oh, my.
Orange red, Joe.
Tartar emetic in the stomach, wouldn't you say?
Tartar emetic? Chalk gives the same reaction. Plain, everyday chalk. That's the way my report is going to read. Chalk in the general's stomach.
So they gave their report to the city solicitor's office, each different. One tartar emetic, the other chalk, which confused the city solicitor no end, for not 1 hour before he had read a report from another chemist, Professor R.S. McCullough. Professor McCullough, having examined a like portion of the general's stomach, averred that not a trace of tartar emetic was to be found, nor chalk, but a bit of chicken Maryland. Confusion. The while, Mrs. Wharton, detained in prison, had a visitor.
I baked these myself, dear Mrs. Wharton.
Dear Mrs. Chubb.
They're wrong about you, what they're saying.
What are they saying?
That you poisoned him. And others are saying that you would not, that you're too much of a gentle lady.
Do you remember, dear Mrs. Chubb, when you came to my house, you drank from the same bottle as did the general?
Did I?
Of course you did. Remember?
Wasn't it from another bottle I drank? And at a different time?
You are a tease, Mrs. Chubb.
Did I tell you there was no Mr. Chubb?
I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry.
3 years ago, he ate a bad crab.
And you are alone, as I am.
Oh, I dislike Washington.
When we return from Europe, you'll come to live with me.
Dear Mrs. Wharton, and I have something else to tell you. Professor McCullough examined the General's stomach. The professor said the General had not been poisoned.
La 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 la
What transpired next, I have in a journal of the day. It is headlined with Doctors Disagree, Learned Men of Science at Variance, Several Schools of Thought. I quote, Dr. Reese, when interviewed, stated that General Ketchum died from cerebral spinal meningitis. On the other hand, Dr. Edward Warren stated that the General had not died from cerebral spinal meningitis. Dr. John R. McClurg attested that the General died of apoplexy from congestion. Dr. Abram Claude clings to the school of tartaremetic poisoning. And Dr. Josiah Simpson, Dean of Baltimore Physicians, has made this statement. I believe the General died from natural causes. On December 4, 1871, the case went to trial. And possibly because of the conflicting testimony, Mrs. Wharton was acquitted. And thus it is that the true cause of the General's death is not known. Nor does history record whether Mrs. Wharton and her dear friend Mrs. Chubb ever got to Europe. But Mrs. Wharton's home, her abode wherein the General died, still stands. I expect you think I'll tell you that today the house is haunted. Well, it is, but not by the General. By Claude Forrester, who was the victim of an unsolved axe murder some 20 years later. The General has been forgotten. Until, I hope, tonight.
In just a moment, Thomas Hyland will tell you about next week's crime classic. General Ketchum, tonight's crime classic, was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was composed and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, and the program was transcribed and directed by Elliott Lewis. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrill. In tonight's story, Paula Winslow was heard as Mrs. Wharton and Russell Simpson as the General. Featured in the cast were Herb Butterfield, Bill Bissell, Sarah Selby, Hy Averback, and David Young. George Walsh speaking. And here again is Thomas Hyland.
Next week, Cretfield in the county of Suffolk in England. The years from 1793 to 1804, and the dreadful murders of a father and daughter. Also including a description of the instrument of death. My report to you will be on Mr. Thrower's hammer. Thank you. Good night.
Arthur Godfrey himself will be back in action with the Talent Scouts later tonight. In fact, on most of these same stations, the great event takes place immediately after station identification. So stay tuned and join the whole family. CBS Radio from coast to coast. To make it a big welcome home for our always a cut-up, especially so recently, Arthur Godfrey. And remember, Bill Cullen's Walk a Mile show is heard Monday evenings on the CBS Radio Network.
Yeah, Arthur Godfrey had become the franchise for CBS radio and television by this time. He did that morning show that aired on radio and television. Let's see, it was started 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Time. And, of course, in this case, it appears that Robert Q. Lewis either filled in or had been filling in for Godfrey. He was big. He was the big deal. And then, of course, he took over the Talent Scout show, and he was doing that, too. You had Crime Classics at 8, Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts at 8:30, the Summer Theater at 9, and then Walk a Mile at 10. So that's what you had there. Again, the other networks weren't doing a lot because it was summer. So, you tolerate what you can deal with. All right, we will wrap up this edition of Classic Radio Theater Podcast in a moment, but we will cut by taking a trip to Pine Ridge, Arkansas.
We are the vocal parents of the local PTA. We're gathered here because we fear that 10 years from today, the younger generation of a growing population will look to us for leadership, will look at us and say, we have no alma maters, with or without swimming pools. We have no alma maters, because we have no schools.
Our children are growing faster than our schools. And 10 years from today, conditions may become desperate unless we do something about it now. If you'd like to do something constructive about it now, write to Better Schools, 9 East 40th Street, New York 16, New York.
We can have the schools we need 10 years from today.
Now, as promised, we're going to wrap up today's podcast by going to Pine Ridge, Arkansas, and see what's going on with the baby and Lum and Abner. This episode from 83 years ago, July 27th, 1942.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. If it were possible for me to meet all you Lum and Abner listeners face to face and talk to you about Alka-Seltzer, I'll venture to say many of you'd tell me that one of the things you like about Alka-Seltzer is its pleasant taste. For Alka-Seltzer's refreshing goodness is one of the first things that makes a big hit with folks. Now, not only is Alka-Seltzer pleasant to taste, it's effective, too, as you'll agree once you've taken it for real relief for a headache, a touch of acid indigestion, sour, upset stomach, muscular aches and pains, or that dull, achy feeling of a cold. Now, if you are not acquainted with the pleasant, fast relief Alka-Seltzer offers, why not give it a try? Next time, just say to your druggist, make mine Alka-Seltzer. He has it by the package and also serves it by the glass at his soda fountain. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the old fellows have stumbled upon something that might be a clue towards discovering the identity of the baby boy who's been left in their care. Abner accidentally scraped some gilt coating off the locket that was around the baby's neck, disclosing a coat of arms inside the locket. As we look in on a little community today, we find Lum and Abner in their jot-em-down store and library, still trying to figure out the meaning of this insignia. Listen.
Well, was Dick Huddleston sure that this coat of arms don't belong to no king, Lum?
No, he wasn't sure, but he didn't think it did. He said there's lots of other folks besides kings that has insignias like this.
Well, did he look at this one good?
Oh, yeah. He even got out that magnifying glass of his and looked at it through there.
He did, huh?
But he said it more than likely just belonged to a fraternity or sororities or maybe a lodge or something like that.
A lodge?
Yeah.
Well, that's silly, Lum. That baby's way yonder too young to join a lodge, and you know it.
Well, who said anything
The
about it?
rule says we can't take nobody in the lodge till they get to be 21-year-old. Says it right in the rules. They got to be 21-year-old.
Abner, I know the rules of the lodge.
Well, how did the baby get in then? Hey, Doggy, you don't reckon that little rascal told a story about his age, do you?
Of course not.
Well, now, he might have, Lum. He's a smart little rascal.
Abner, he couldn't have did no such a thing as that. He can't talk hardly. All he can say is bye-bye and dada and water, and he can't say them very good.
Yeah, that's right, ain't he? Well, I don't know how you managed to join up then.
I never said the baby belonged to a lodge yourself.
Oh, I know you never. No, I know it. Dick Huddleston was the one that said it. But I still think he's wrong. I know I've never saw the baby at none of the meetings, and he ain't paid no dues, or at least not that I know of.
Abner, Dick never said he belonged to the lodge neither.
Huh?
What's more, he weren't talking about our lodge here in Pine Ridge.
Oh, well, what lodge was he talking about then?
Well, that's something we got to find out.
Oh,
As soon as we find out what club or organization has that coat of arms for its insignia, then we'll have our first clue about who the baby is and where he come from.
Uh-huh. Well, I still say he's a heap too young to join a lodge here or any place else, Lum.
Abner, it ain't the baby that belongs to the club. It's more than likely his papa or his uncle or somebody like that. Whoever it was had the coat of arms engraved on the baby's locket. That's how the baby happens to have it.
Oh. Well, if they went to all the trouble of doing that engraving, well, what'd they go and cover it up with that gold paint for? We couldn't hardly see it at first.
I don't know. That's another one of the cuter things we got to figure out.
Yeah, we ought to know that.
There must be something mysterious and secret about this club or whatever it is, or else they wouldn't want to hide the insignia this way.
Yeah. Well, I just don't understand none of it. Special how that baby ever passed himself off as 21-year-old.
Oh, for goodness sakes, I told you,
The
Abner,
only way a young'un his size could get to be that old is to be a midget, Lum. Now, Doggies, wait a minute. You don't reckon he is a midget?
the baby a midget?
Yeah, you know, one of them little fellers that never grows up.
Granny's, if that don't outcap anything you've ever studied up.
Why didn't you tell me he was a midget,
For
Long?
goodness sakes, Abner.
Doggers, he sure don't look like one.
Howdy.
Oh, well, howdy, Grandpa.
Yeah, howdy, Abner.
Come on back.
Yeah, whereabouts is the little king at?
King?
Yeah, Charity heard all about it from Elizabeth. Well, how does it feel to have a baby king in the family? Well, that was sort of a mistake, Grandpap. Me and Abner discovered a coat of arms on that locket that was around the baby's neck, and we figured it might be a royalty of some kind, but Dick Huddleston said he's more than likely mistaken about it.
Yeah, Dick says that the baby belongs to some lodge, and Lum claims he's a midget.
Well, I don't claim no such a thing, Abner.
Well, that's what you said just before Grandpap come in.
I never done it.
You did do it, too, Lum. I still think you and Dick both is wrong, though.
Hey, let a feller get a word in edgeways here.
Oh, yeah, sure. Excuse us.
How does it feel to have a baby king in the family?
Huh?
Grandpap, we just told you that was a mistake. We seen this coat of arms, and that
Why,
was all there was to it.
Yeah.
What coat of arms?
The one on the locket we found around the baby's neck.
The baby king's neck?
He ain't no king, Grandpa.
Whereabouts is the little rascal at?
Oh, he's over at my place.
Yeah, well, how does it feel to have a baby king in the family, Abner? For goodness sakes, Grandpap, if you'll just let us explain.
Grandpap, take a look at this locket here. Maybe that'll give you an idea what we're talking about. Here.
Yeah, locket, huh?
Yeah.
Whereabouts did you get this? Did you buy this for a present for the baby king?
Why, no, it come with him. Look inside of it, Grandpap. Open it up. Yeah, that's it. Just open it up. Look in there.
Opens right up, don't it?
Oh, yeah. Now, look here. See that drawing engraved there? No, over on this side. Look right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's an insignia, a coat of arms.
Yes, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, sworn to goodness, that's peculiar, ain't it?
What's peculiar?
I've saw this insignia summers. I don't know where, but I know I have summers.
You have? Whereabouts was it, Grandpa?
I just can't recollect now. Let's see, where was that at? I saw it somewhere, so I know that.
Well, think hard, Grandpap. You got to recollect where you
seen
it.
Sakes, think hard, Grandpap. This is the most important clue we've got. Fact is, it's the only one we got.
Yeah.
I see now. Wait a minute. I know. It was in the paper. That's where it was at.
The paper?
Yes, sir. You fellers got a copy of this week's paper around here somewhere?
Why, sure. Yeah, we got one. It's right over on the library table. Come on, let's look it over real quick.
Oh, wait a minute. You must be mistaken about that, Grandpap. A coat of arms wouldn't be in the paper. I think you're a little mixed up. No, I ain't. No, I saw it in there. I know I did. Very same insignia like this one in the locket there. The very same one.
Yeah, well, now, here's a paper, Grandpap. Now, show us whereabouts you seen it at.
Yeah, I'll show you. I've seen it if I can find it here. I'll show you Milford A. Spears don't get mixed up, neither.
Well, hurry up.
I gotta see this before I believe it.
Yeah, was it in an article or was it in the advertisement,
Hey, Chef
Grandpap?
Abner, let me consultate here. Well, I do know.
Did you find it?
Yeah, listen to this. Mr. and Miss Irie Hodgkins and son Dillard journeyed to Cherry Hill yesterday to visit relays. Ira appointed Floyd Erda to take his place as fire watcher during Ira's absence.
Well, what's that got to do with the coat of arms?
Oh, yeah. Now, whereabouts did I see that thing? Forgot about that. I'm sure it's here somewhere.
Well, hurry up. Look
Maybe
the
it's
paper
over
over
here on the
there.
other page here.
Yeah, look it all over. Hurry up.
Near as I can recollect, it was, well, for the land sakes.
Now what's the matter?
Everett Colton and Buford Adams enjoyed a fishing trip over the weekend.
Oh, my.
They report a nice catch of 13 perch and a auto tire, which they turned over to the Rubber Salvage Committee.
Well, what of it, Grandpap?
Well, Buford's a very dear friend of mine, Abner.
Oh.
He's got a sister-in-law in Indiana. Melissa's her name.
Yeah, well, we ain't interested in that.
Yes, sir, they tell a funny incident about Melissa. Funny experience.
They do.
It seems that about 2 months before her and Buford's brother got hitched, Melissa got to worrying about whether she'd have enough nerve to go through the wedding ceremonies or not.
Grandpap.
She's afraid she'd get scared and lose her voice and not be able to say I do. So she went out and bought herself a parrot.
A parrot?
Yes, sir. That's what she done. Bought herself a talking parrot.
Ah.
Yes, sir. Melissa set up with that parrot day and night to learn him how to recite the whole wedding ceremonies. For goodness sakes, Grandpap, we ain't got time to listen to this.
No, what about that insignia there? Where'd you find it?
Don't interrupt me, Abner.
Oh, my.
Yes, sir. After the parrot learned how to recite all that wedding lingo, him and Melissa'd practice all day long. Him saying, "Do you take this lawful so-and-so and so-and-so?" and her answering, "I do."
Grandpap, now you can't make us believe no such a story.
Abner, honest to goodness, it's the truth. So one day the parrot disappeared, and Melissa was so broke up over it she wouldn't go through with the marriage till they found Clyde.
Clyde?
Yeah, that was the name of the parrot.
Oh,
Yes,
Clyde.
sir. Buford's brother hunted everywhere for Clyde, but he couldn't find him nowhere. So natural, Melissa wouldn't go through with the wedding. Grandpap, give me that paper. I'll look for the coat of arms.
Yeah, take it, Lum. See if you can find it in there somewhere and hurry
Yes,
up
sir.
about it.
Buford's brother got hopping mad. He'd made his mind up that him and Melissa was going to get married, and he wasn't going to let nothing stop him.
No.
So, one night he throwed Melissa into his car and drove clean down across the Mexican border.
Prattle, prattle.
That's the truth. They seen a sign there that said, "Speedy marriages at low rates." So they went inside, and guess who was in there doing the marrying?
Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me. The parrot.
No. Oh, that's silly, Abner. Of course it wasn't.
Huh?
It was some Mexican feller named Senor or something or other.
Oh. Well, did Melissa ever find the parrot?
No, she never did, Abner. The last she ever heard of him was he was running for Justice of the Peace in some small town in Nevada.
Justice of the Peace?
Yes, sir.
My doggies, that's going too far, Grandpap. You can't make us believe no...
Granny's Abner, Grandpap was right.
Huh?
Of course I'm right. Some town in Nevada. I know that. I recollect it. I don't mean that. Look here, Abner.
Huh?
There's that coat of arms, all right here in the paper. See,
know.
they're in their want-ad column.
Well, I do know. That's it, just as sure as the world. What does it say there, Lon? What's that writing there?
Well, it don't say nothing hardly.
Huh?
Just that picture of the coat of arms, and underneath it says, box number K691W, Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Now, what in the world can that mean?
I know, I got it. What is it, Grandpa?
The name of that town in Nevada was Dry Creek Junction. Yes, sir, that's what it was, Dry Creek Junction.
Ladies, I wonder what you'd say if I were to tell you that you may be starving your family. Oh, you'd probably tell me to mind my own business because you're probably giving them enough food. But nutritional experts do tell us that the average American diet is lacking in enough vitamins, especially the B-complex vitamins. Now, since this vitamin deficiency can be serious, supplement your family's diet with one-a-day brand vitamin B-complex tablets. They're mighty economical and mighty convenient to take because one tablet once a day does the job. That's right, not 3 or 4 tablets or capsules per day for your B vitamins. Now, just one-a-day vitamin B-complex tablet taken each day provides your full minimum daily supply of all the B-complex vitamins for which requirements have been established. And the cost is so low, too, only 26 cents or less a week, depending on the size package you buy. So, for real convenience and economy, ask your druggist for one-a-day brand vitamin B-complex tablets and give them to every member of your family. Look for that big 1 on the package. One-a-day brand vitamin B-complex tablets.
Well, that's got to make you wonder. We'll see tomorrow if we find out more. Say, get in touch with the newspaper editor tomorrow on the program, Lum and Abner. That'll be at the final spot in the show tomorrow. That was from 83 years ago. Today, July 27th, 1942, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The Monday podcast, we will have Escape. Second-Class Passenger, starring Parley Bear. Did Justice Triumph from 1947, The Marriage Bureau Murders. Lights Out and The Rocket Ship. And an episode of Romance, The Paradise Package. And we'll wrap it all up with Lum and Abner. That's all coming up on our Monday podcast. We will see you on Monday. Have a great day. Visit us at classicradio.stream. And we'll see you tomorrow for more Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.